John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beat Digger Stadium as the Beat Diggers have won the coin toss, but for the second straight week, they will kick off. The Reds are coached by Bill Mont, assisted by Kevin Ross, Dean Grable, Logan Lacey, Dustin Duncan, Randy Craddock, Dave Alvarez, Daniel Alaman, and Cameron Stewart. The Beat Diggers coached by Randy Dreitz. The assistants are Ron Albo, Lance Schwint, Dick Creighton, Matt Manier, and David Cummings. And here we go, Dave. We find out quickly if the Beat Diggers made improvements from a couple of special teams mishaps 1 week ago against Fort Morgan.
That's for sure. You know, got a lot of young guys on that kickoff team trying to spell some of their guys that are on the field a lot. And I'm sure they spend a lot of time talking to those guys about being disciplined, staying in their lanes as they run down the field, and breaking down in front of the guys that are returning the ball rather than diving at them. So hopefully they've made that correction. Big game tonight for head coach Randy Dreitz. If the Beat Diggers win, it would be his 100th career head coaching win. Jesus Cardenas will kick it off for the Beat Diggers as the opening kickoff tonight is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, and Austin Eckler is back there at the 5-yard line. And it looks like he's flanked over there by maybe Britton Abbott.
I think it might be Austin Eckler, too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Austin Eckler.
Oh, yep.
Right at the 5-yard line. So Eckler and Abbott.
Right. My bad. Sorry. I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I'm like,
going to be.
They got their 2 best, the 2 of their most reliable guys doing the kick return. That kind of says something for who their athletes are.
Right, exactly. And maybe that they're thin in that area, that they have to go with their best players.
Yeah. That could be a good sign, or maybe not. We'll see how this kickoff goes.
Jesus Cardenas, the senior, runs towards the football and boots at a low line drive. It'll take a couple of hops, and Abbott will pitch it to Eckler, but it goes through Eckler. Abbott has to pick it up at the 6, running straight ahead to the 15, and now he's hit hard at about the 17-yard line. That was a disaster for Eaton. That should have been a much better return. Nico Guzman made the tackle, and the official spot looks like it'll be just past the 16. We'll mark it at the 18-yard line for the Reds. The quarterback is Britton Abbott, and as Dave mentioned, Austin Eckler is their featured back. Receivers out to the left and right. Maverick Seawald, Victor Lopez occupying the middle of that defense for the Bee Diggers, who are dressed in their maroon jerseys. Backs it an eye, 1st and 10, handoff to Eckler, the D-back, across the 20. Good run for him to the 22. Maverick Seawald made the tackle. It's a gain of 4. Randy Baker also around the football. 2nd down and 6 to go for Eaton.
So Eaton just came out in that I formation with the tight end, and then a flanker and a split out on the other side. And not doing a lot fancy, just ran that ISO right up the middle and attacked that A gap on our defense's right side.
2nd down and 6 to go for the 22-yard line. Bee Diggers with plenty of talent on defense. They have forced numerous turnovers. Jake Brown, Randy Baker, as I mentioned, Alec Peterson. We'll talk about many of the other Diggers. 2nd and 6. And there's the give to the first back through. And that might be a first down across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. That's the fullback, Riley Jones, at 6 foot 184 as Tyler Stratman made the tackle. But it's a gain of 6 for Jones and an Eaton first down.
Yeah, they had a little crossbuck action there in the back. You could see the Diggers were focused on Eckler as they handed it off really quick to Jones right up the middle. And he just had some hard running there. The Diggers didn't do a good job of tackling him low at their initial contact.
The right side of that defensive line is Levi Abbott. Also on the defense, Kyle Rosenbrock and Eddie Arribas. Jake Brown on the left side. We mentioned Tyler Stratman's 1st down and 10 for the 28. Backs in an eye. Britton Abbott is going to fumble the football, and the ball is loose back at the 29-yard line. I think the Beat Diggers have it. There was a problem with the exchange, and the Beat Diggers once again force another turnover. And that might have been
Jake Morrow recovering the fumble for the Beat Diggers, and it was Riley Jones who lost control of the football on the exchange. Beat Diggers have it at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, I think Eaton must have watched the film last week and saw the trouble that the Diggers had with that option. They went ahead and tried to run option over to the left side. Diggers had some pretty good penetration over there, and they were able to slow that option down. And too bad their quarterback wasn't able to get the ball back out of the belly of Jones, and it caused the fumble.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at the 29-yard line of the Reds. The quarterback is Mitch Tormolen, backs it an eye, and there is a bootleg by Tormolen running left, cuts it back to the inside of the 25 along the sideline of the 20, and Tormolen is out of bounds. A first down inside the 20 towards the 17-yard line, a gain of 12 for the senior quarterback, Mitch Tormolen.
You know what made that such a great play is the fact that Eaton came out with every single one of their defensive players in the box. They did not have a free safety. They had about 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage. One of their linebackers creeped up over on our strong side, up over our tackle, and so everybody got caught up there in the middle with some great blocking. Tormolen was able to turn that thing loose.
Brett Bostrom is lining up in the slot to the left. The lone setback is Jake Morrow. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1st and 10 for the 17. Bostrom in motion to the right. And there's the give on the end around to Bostrom to the 15-yard line along the sideline to the 10. Breaking a tackle to the 5. He dives. And is he into the end zone? Very close. I think they're going to mark him just short. 1st and goal on that run by Brett Bostrom as he was knocked out of bounds over there by Eston McGraw, the 6'1", 170-pound junior defensive back. And it looks like that's going to be a gain of 16 yards to the 2. 1st and goal for the Beat Diggers.
That's that old fly offense where we bring our guy in motion and hand it off really quick and fake the handoff to the fullback in the middle. And just wide open.
1st and goal from the 2 for Brush. Man in motion to the left is Baker. Handoff left side, Rosenbrock. He runs into a red, and he lunges towards the end zone, but he is short. And he was piled up by the middle of the Eaton defense. Led over there by Trent Sieg, the 6'5", 241-pound senior linebacker. And what do you give him 1 on the play? No, it looks like no gain for Rosenbrock, and that is a rarity. 2nd and goal for Brush.
You know, they were able to stop that surge over there. We tried to run behind Maverick Seawald over there, and they had a defensive tackle and 2 linebackers that were coming up there to help stop it.
On 2nd and goal, Tormolen, bootleg left. He cuts it back, he dives, and I think he's just short. Right at the goal line, he was tripped up at the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal. Boy, they barely got a finger. And that was Trent Sieg once again. 3rd and goal with 9:20 to go in the opening quarter. No score. The Beat Diggers are trying to take advantage of an Eaton turnover.
Yep, he just got tripped up a little bit. That's funny to see 2 bootlegs within the first 4 plays on our offense this year. The Diggers must have noticed their linebackers aren't very disciplined over there.
Rosenbrock and Bostrom in the backfield. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Tormolen hands it off left side. Rosenbrock, touchdown! As he walks into the end zone, and the Beat Diggers lead 6-0.
That was like a 46, or actually it would have been a 47. Halfback led on the defensive end, and boy, there was just a huge hole there. Rosenbrock was kicking it out wide, planted his left foot, and took it up a little bit earlier. But just a nice play there by that offensive line, running behind the blocking of Maverick Seawald and Tyler Stratman on the left side.
Well, you can't make mistakes against the Beat Diggers. Ray and Fort Morgan have found that out this year. But Ray and Fort Morgan scored the first touchdowns of those games. The Beat Diggers have scored for the first time to open a game this year, and the extra point by Cardenas is up, and that is good. 8:57 to go, opening quarter. Brush 7, Eaton nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. For the Beat Diggers, 5 plays, 29 yards in a minute 35. Kyle Rosenbrock scores from a yard out. Extra point was good. 7-0 Beat Diggers as Britton Abbott and Austin Eckler are back deep to receive for Eaton. And Jesus Cardenas to kick it off for the Beat Diggers. Eaton, incidentally, dressed in their road whites with the red numerals and the red pants. So Brush off to a better start than their previous 2 games, and off to a better start than when they played Eaton 1 year ago at Beat Digger Stadium. Cardenas boots it high and fairly deep towards Abbott at the 10. Running to his right to the 15, cutting it back to the inside, and he's down at about the 21-yard line. And wrapping up very nicely for the Bee Diggers was Christian DeLong to make the first hit, and poor field position once again for Eaton to open up their second drive.
I'll tell you what, the Diggers decided to have some good coverage on both these last two kicks. The guys doing a good job staying in their lanes, but also Cardenas doing a good job of spot kicking it, kicking it to a certain area to keep Eaton from being able to pitch that ball around and reverse it back there.
We got a new fullback in there. 1st and 10 for the Reds at their own 20-yard line. Handoff to Eckler, the deep back, right up the gut, across the 20, towards the 23. Jake Morrow and Maverick Seawald in on the carry. A gain of 3 for Eckler. 2nd down and 7 to go for the Reds.
The Diggers did do a good job of converging on that. And Eaton, they were just in there, still in that 5-600 formation, and this time they're coming out in a 400 formation, but they're still just running those ISOs, just trying to pound the ball in that A gap. 2
receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd and 7 from the 23 with the Bee Diggers up 7-0. And there's another fumble on an exchange. Or no fumble at all. It looked like there was a fumble, but the Bee Diggers in on that play. And that's going to be a loss. And that was the new fullback in on the carry. Boy, that looked like wearing an 83, Dave. I think Wade Wilson, senior fullback. So he actually no gain. They drove him back to the 20, but forward progress got him back to the line of scrimmage, and about 4 or 5 Bee Diggers in on the play. 3rd down and 7 for the 23. Passing situation for the Reds. With 7:35 to go in the opening quarter. And Britton Abbott rolling to his right, looking, throwing over the middle. The pass is complete. It's a 1st down across the 30 to about the 32, and that's the fullback Riley Jones lined up as a receiver. And it's a gain of 9 as the drive continues. Trent Sieg with a catch for the Reds. And after the gain of 9 yards with the ball just past the 32, with 7:25 to go in the opening quarter, the drive continues for Eaton. That's what the Bee Diggers got to watch out for, that passing game, which was very proficient last year, but this is a new quarterback. 1 receiver out to the left, 1 to the right. The back's in an eye. The option right. There is the pitch right to Eckler, taking it towards the outside, and he breaks out of a tackle across the 40, still driving to the 44. A strong run by Austin Eckler. It's a gain of close to 12 and a 1st down as Jake Brown made the play.
We had 2 guys that closed in on the quarterback, and nobody really went with the pitch man, so we didn't have a lot of great discipline on that to make sure that we had that pitch man covered, knowing that Eckler is the man. So they're going to have to really make sure that we're playing disciplined football and being ready for that option. He gave us fits last week.
Well, thank goodness Eckler's a senior. He's been a headache for the Bee Diggers the past couple of years. 1st and 10, the Reds from their own 45-yard line. Brush leads 7-0 on a 1-yard TD run by Kyle Rosenbrock. Backs in an eye. Abbott will hand it off to the fullback. Wade Wilson breaks a tackle. 1st down into the secondary. Breaking tackles across the 45 to the 41. It's a gain of 14. The tackle was made by Ben Mickey, the junior defensive back. 1st and 10 for Eaton.
They're just running that ball right up the middle there, and I got to tell you, the official made the best block, as we had one of our linebackers was trying to close in on making the tackle, and he ran right into the back of the official, who's there looking for those holding calls. So the running back did a good job of using him as a screen.
1st and 10 for the Reds at the Bee Digger 41-yard line. The Reds slowly up to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers out to the right, lining up on the right hash. Wilson and Eckler in the backfield. Abbott on the pitch left to Eckler, looking for a seam. Has got it to the outside, across the 40 to the 35. 1st down along the left sideline to the 20. And he's driven out of bounds, but another big gainer for Austin Eckler. And right now he is unstoppable. And so is that Eaton attack with the way they're running. That football down to close to the 15-yard line, a gain of 26. And the 4th consecutive 1st down for the Reds.
So 45 yards now for Eckler on 4 carries. And what happened on that play, our defensive end got hooked, and he's got to make sure that he's doing a good job of controlling that outside shoulder of that tight end so that he doesn't get, contained there, or get that containment.
1st and 10 from the Bee Digger 15-yard line. Under center, Abbott will hand it off to Eckler on the counter. He's got running room to the 10 along the left sideline. 5, an easy touchdown. He walks in 15 yards away for Austin Eckler. That drive was way too easy, and the Reds are to within a point. Brush 7, Eaton 6.
Yeah, our linebackers we're really not doing a good job of staying disciplined or reading our keys, and you got to give that Eaton line some credit. You know, they're not any bigger than we are. They got a couple of guys that are just as small as us out there, but they're doing a good job of blocking. The big thing is our linebackers are going to have to make sure they're reading their keys and not falling for those fakes, as that last play had some crossbuck action.
Let's see if that's the freshman Burkhardt to attempt the extra point off the hold of Casey Edens. And that one is up by Sean Early. That one is good. 6:02 to go, opening quarter. Brush 7, Eaton 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, the Bay Diggers are now going to have to counter after an impressive drive by Eaton, which took up 2 minutes and 47 seconds. And there is a high kick headed towards Randy Baker at the 5. Bobbles it, runs straight to the 10, to his left to the 15, across the 20, cuts it back to the inside of the 25. Then he's drilled at the 30. Return of 25 yards for Randy Baker. Once again, a 7-play, 80-yard drive. Austin Eckler scores from 15 yards out. And we are now deadlocked at 7. The Beat Diggers have the football back, and Brush has yet to punt this season, Dave, so let's hope that trend does continue.
You bet. You know, this is a good thing, though. We got plenty of room to drive down the field, and we can put a drive together that keeps that Eaton offense off the field.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers. With a football just past the 30-yard line. We'll call it the 31. The backs are split. Tormolen back to throw off the play action. Pressure coming. Throws to his right, incomplete. He was being pressured, and that was a point of contention that Randy Dreitz had before the game. Mitch Tormolen has not been protected really at all this year. I mean, lots of pressure there coming from Garrett Colson, the 6'3", 188-pound sophomore linebacker.
Yeah, they sent some heat. They were blitzing a little bit there. Eaton comes out with the 5 front. They got a nose guard, 2 tackles, 2 defensive ends, and they show a look like a 5-3, and that's where that linebacker came from, right over our offensive right side.
2nd down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Bee Diggers are on their own side of the field. Ben Mickey's in motion to the right. Tormolen hands it off on the right side, and very little yardage, maybe to the 33. Gain of 2 for Brett Bostrom. 3rd down and 8 as the tackle was made over there by Trey Stevens, a senior defensive lineman, 6'1", 215 pounds.
Well, our offensive line's really going to have to get after it right here. Going to have to provide some protection on an obvious passing down. You can expect Eaton to be sending some heat.
The Bay Diggers have scored a total of 81 points in their first 2 games, most of those offensively. 3rd and 8 from their own 33. Tormolen rolling to his right, stopping, looking, throwing the passes, batted up, incomplete. Intended for Randy Baker. Check that for Ben Mickey. Baker was the deep receiver at the 42, and the Bee Diggers will have to punt on 4th down and 8 to go from their own 33.
Yep, that's an ugly 3 and out for us right there, but I really like how we're opening it up and trying to keep them from, just zeroing in on our running game. The only thing was their linebacker on our tight end side, he was blitzing, would have left a dump wide open there. I'm sure the coaches caught that.
Looks like, is that Kyle Rosenbrock? That's certainly not Stratman there to punt. And that is Rosenbrock standing at his own 19-yard line. A little bit of a high snap, and he gets it off, and that is a wobbly punt. Headed towards the 32-yard line, takes a Beat Digger roll, and it's down at the 26. Eston McGraw let that ball go. So Eaton will have the ball with 4:54 to go. And the opening quarter, tied at 7 at their own 26-yard line. And officially a punt of 41 yards for Kyle Rosenbrock. So not a bad job by him. In fact, an excellent job.
Brett Bostrom did a great job of hustling down the field there, too, because if he would have been hustling down there with his speed, that would have left the Eaton kid plenty of time to catch that ball and have a run back. So he had good coverage on the play.
Now let's see what the Bee Digger defense does against this proficient offense. 1st and 10 for the 26. Hand off to Eckler, running left, a big hole across the left side. Across the 30, wrestled down by Baker. But now before he got to the 32, it's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 to go, and Austin Eckler is off to a Huge start here in Brush.
Guys are going to have to start tackling him around the legs, though. Both of those hits were above his waist. It causes our guy to have to leave his feet. We just kind of drag our feet behind him and hope we can pull him down after he gets tired.
Letter jackets, T-shirts, and more. Stop by 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan for all of your sports apparel at Bijou T-Quest. 2nd and 4 from the 32. The backs in an eye. Hand off to Eckler. First down across the 35. Hit at the 38-yard line. The initial hit was made by Oscar Soto. But again, another gain of 6 for Austin Eckler. He might have 100 yards before the end of the quarter.
Oh, yeah, he's got 72 already on 7 carries. So he's just a couple carries away from making that. Again, the Diggers are just experiencing some ISO action where Eaton's just rearing back, lead blocking with that fullback, and just shoving it right down our throat in between that A and B gap.
And Riley Jones is the fullback right now. They've switched off between him and Wade Wilson. 1st and 10 from the 38. Abbott rolls to his right, looking to throw. Pressure coming, throws off his back foot. That pass is going to be complete. A diving reception along the left sideline in front of the Beat Digger bench by Casey Edens at the 49-yard line. An outstanding throw, a gain of 13, and a Reds first down. You cannot do any better. Actually, the throw was good, but the catch was even better by Edens.
Yeah, he had to dive, and we had some decent coverage on that. We were a couple of steps behind him, but I think we just kind of relaxed out there and thought we were going to get the sack as Rosenbrock converged on Abbott so quickly.
3:39 to go, opening quarter. Brush 7, Eaton 7. 1st and 10 from the Beat Digger 49-yard line. Abbott will hand it off to Eckler, stuck at the line of scrimmage, breaks out of a tackle, and he slams over a Beat Digger. First down inside the 40 to the 38. Talk about tackling too high, and Eckler made the Beat Digger defense pay for it. They might give him the 37. It's a gain of 12 for Eckler, and another Reds first down.
Boy, he did. You can tell when he runs with like he's in a fight, because he's out there just trying to stiff arm people hard, and he lowers the shoulder on you. And that time our corner came up and tried to stand there just like kind of bear hug him, and he just ran right over him.
He reminds me of Anthony Hurt.
Yeah.
Very similar. 1st and 10. Of course, Anthony, a great running back for the Beat Diggers. Graduated, I believe, in 06. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line of the Beat Diggers. The lone setback is Jones. Play action. Abbott looking to throw. Dumps it over the middle. That pass is caught by Eckler at the 35. Tries to juke a defender, and he's still driving. Beat Diggers way too high on him again, and he gets inside the 35 towards the 32. And again, just the tackling an issue for the Beat Diggers. They needed a couple of guys to bring him down. Alec Peterson in on the play. That's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 on that pass to Eckler, who's been involved in 4 of the 5 plays on this drive.
Yeah, he's the go-to guy. The Diggers are going to have to watch him. They just brought him out of the backfield, put him in a flank on this side, and he just ran a really short crossing route over the middle. Our linebackers were turned looking the other way. They were looking for the deep guy instead of looking for the guy in front of them.
2nd down and 4 for the 31. Man in motion to the left for the Reds. Abbott with a long count. Is going to pitch it right to Eckler. A flag is down. Running towards the outside, inside the 30, along the sideline to the 20. He spins to the 15, down at the 13. It's a big gain of 18. Alec Peterson makes the play, but it looks like with a couple of flags, that's got to be coming back. In fact, they might be 2 different penalties, considering they were thrown during different junctures of that play.
Eaton's blockers do a really good job. Once they get on you, they stick on you, and when they make contact with their guys, their hands don't come off of them. And we had some pretty good pursuit there, but it looked like one of their guys that was trying to block our defensive end on this side looked like he kind of got his arm wrapped around him as our defensive end tried to pursue.
Well, the Beat Diggers need some sort of break because they're unable to stop this team straight up. I mean, they did force a fumble, which contributed to Brush's touchdown. We still have not seen a preliminary signal. We know it's against Eaton. And our official should be mic'd up out there. Illegal formation is one call. That's declined. The hold will be accepted. In fact, there's 2 holds. There were 3 penalties on the play. The Beat Diggers can only take 1. And, in fact, it was behind the line of scrimmage. So this is going to amount to a 12-yard penalty back to the 43-yard line. So in essence, it'll be 2nd down and 16 to go for the Reds.
You got to seal up this pass defense now. Obvious passing down, but don't forget Eckler. I'll tell you what, he's so quick. We're going to have to watch that pitch to the outside, or that option.
Well, the Reds have had so many big plays. Have to avoid the big play if you're the Bee Diggers. Eckler's in motion to the left. Watch out for him. And Britton Abbott is rolling that way, looking, stopping, throwing along the sideline. That pass is going to be intercepted by Ben Mickey at the 15, and he's knocked out of bounds. Mickey basically playing left field, so to speak, was able to pick it off, just waiting for that duck to fall in his hands. And the Bee Diggers have come up with their second turnover of the game as the ball will be placed at their own 25.
You bet you did a good job coming over from the middle. You watched him just cut right in front of Eckler to pick it off. And, you got to know when they're putting Eckler in motion, it's a lot like Fort Morgan back in the day with Dusty Quick, where, if he lined up in the receiver position, quarterback position, wherever he's at, that's where the ball's going to go. And Mickey's smart enough to be out there knowing that and stepped right in front of it and made a sure-handed interception.
With 1:50 to go in the opening quarter, Brush 7, Eaton 7. 1st and 10 for the Bee Diggers at their own 25-yard line. Baker is in motion to the left, and that's Bostrom instead on the end around. Bostrom running wide to the left, has got a seam across the 25, then he's down, crossing the 30 towards the 33 with major speed as the hit was made by Jay Kilber, a senior defensive back, and it's a gain of 8 for the speedy Brett Bostrom, the senior, 2nd down and 2.
Again, that fly offense, I'll tell you what, he's got a head of steam when they give him the ball, and he is just so fast. Even though Eaton did a pretty good job of having some containment, he ran right past him before the kid had a chance to get deep enough into the backfield to make a stop.
2nd down and 2 with Bostrom in that backfield along with Rosenbrock. Nico Guzman, the receiver, to the left. To the right, it's Randy Baker. And now man in motion to the left is Ben Mickey. Handoff right up the gut. 1st down to Brett Bostrom across the 35 to the 36. There is a flag down, though. Garrett Colson was one of the Reds in on the play. And I think this is going against Brush, which is not going to make head coach Randy Dreitz happy at all. Illegal formation against the Bee Diggers. That'll wipe out that game. Serving you the best coffees, lattes, and smoothies. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies. Now open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to better serve you. Stop by and see them, 921 Edison Street in Brush. The week of the 17th will feature 3 new smoothie drinks. Open until kickoff for each home game. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies. So now, Dave, the Bee Diggers face a 2nd and 7.
Well, we're starting to open that offense up a little bit. We've had a lot of luck with those dives and with those off-tackle plays. Rosenbrock's only touched the ball twice so far for 1 yard. We'll see if we start putting him into motion.
Mickey in motion to the left. There is the pitch left to Bostrom. Has a seam across the 30. 1st down. He spins across the 35 towards the 38-yard line. And the hit was made over there by Eaton's Eston McGraw. And we'll give him about 9 yards to the 37. So Brett Bostrom made up for that mistake the Bee Diggers just committed. And some good blocking as well.
You betcha. That was just our 59. They pitched it right underneath Rosenbrock. And you can tell Coach Dreitz is counting on the fact that Eaton's paying attention to number 4, and he's hoping they're forgetting about everybody else.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 37-yard line. Approaching the 1-minute mark of the opening quarter. Looked like the Reds jumped. That was a hard count by Tormolen. That should be a 1st and 5, and it will be, as the Reds were off sides. Keep in mind, we'll have video of this game on our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. And we'll have play-by-play updates as well on KSIRsports.com. Just click on today's game. We're working on all that, each and every game right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com through ESPN's iScore. 1st and 5 for the Bee Diggers with that football at the 42-yard line. Tormolen hands it off to Rosenbrock, left side across the 45. He stiff arms a man inside the 50 to about the 49-yard line. It's another Bee Digger 1st down, this time by Kyle Rosenbrock. It's a gain of 9 for the sophomore.
Yep, now we're starting to attack like we've been attacking the last couple of weeks. And, the Diggers looking at trying to run that off-tackle stuff. And Rosenbrock does a good job of seeing the opening. He took it outside a little bit wider than off-tackle. It was more like a fullback sweep, and he made a good cut back to the inside, lowered his shoulder, and picked up some nice yardage.
Accidents or illness can strike at any time of day or night. When they do, every second counts. As a Level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency, bringing quality care to our community. Colorado Plains Medical Center. Baker in motion to the right. 1st and 10. Handoff right up the gut. And Brett Bostrom nearly breaking a second tackle across the 45 to the 43. Give him about 5 yards. Make it 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 for the Beat Diggers. And that is the final play of the opening quarter with a score. Brush 7, Eaton 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers and the Reds deadlocked at 7. I'm John Beltran with Dave Urick as we head to the second quarter from Beat Digger Stadium. And I don't know if this game will match 1 year ago when the Beat Diggers won in overtime 42-41, but certainly a very competitive game so far as the Beat Diggers face a 2nd down and 4 at the Reds' 43. Kyle Rosenbrock with a 1-yard touchdown run for Brush. Austin Eckler, Eaton's best running back, with a 15-yarder to counter that. From the 43, 2nd down and 4. Rosenbrock had a limited number of carries in that opening quarter. Baker in motion to the right. Tormolin back to throw, looking to his right. He'll toss it underneath, and that one is batted down, intended for Baker. 3rd down and 4. 2nd batted pass of the game so far.
Yeah, it was poorly thrown. You know, the defender's out there getting his hands up there, but Tormolin just threw it low. It's like he tried to throw just a dart over there, and he needed to put a little finesse on it and get it up in the air and get it in position because it was a long throw over here to the sideline. It was kind of a waggle pass, a bootleg right, more of a waggle pass, but he just tried to throw it on the line. It was easy to knock down for the Eaton defensive end.
Well, there's no doubt this is 4-down territory. Coach Dreist will not punt with the football at the 43, but he doesn't have to make this decision if they get the 1st down on this play. 3rd down. Baker in motion to the left. 4 yards to go. Tormolin, bootleg left, trying to swing it to the outside, does to the 40 along the sideline, and he spins out of bounds. He's got a 1st down. Excellent fake by Tormolin as the Beat Digger drive continues with that run to about the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 6 for the senior quarterback, Mitch Tormolin.
You bet. And he did that to the short side of the field, too. The ball was on the left hash mark as we're driving towards the scoreboard on the south end of the field. They were on the left hash mark, and he even ran that over there. But, I think that's a good call because that's where the chains are. And so Tormolin knew how far he needed to run, how far he had to go to get there.
1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers with the football at the Eaton 37-yard line, taking some time in the huddle. They've got to race up to the line of scrimmage as that play clock is running down. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. There is some confusion out there. Now Tormolin under center with a lone setback being Rosenbrock. And we have Randy Dreitz calling a timeout. Now a flag goes up. And was that a hit there on a Beat Digger? But I think we had a timeout and then the flag. So let's sort this out. Yeah, there was confusion well before that play was about to ensue.
Yeah, our receiver on this side, we were in a 400 formation, so our very outside receiver's supposed to be up on the line of scrimmage, and our next guy in's our flanker. He's allowed to be back. Well, both of our receivers on this side were both back off the line, so we didn't have enough guys up on the line of scrimmage, and Coach Dreitz had to do it to prevent a penalty.
So the flag is waved off. That timeout brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car or truck of your choice, serving all of Northeast Colorado. That's Ehrlich Toyota East. So Brush will have 1st down and 10 at the 37. Coming off a timeout.
Hey, that was great coaching right there. Coach Dreitz saw that he wasn't up on the line. They were yelling at him, telling him to get up to the line, and he wasn't going, so they called timeout really quick.
Well, we knew there was something wrong from here. Rosenbrock is the lone setback. Receivers split out to the left and right in Eaton territory on 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Man in motion to the right is Bostrom. Handoff right up the gut. Rosenbrock inside the 30 to the 25. Along the left sideline by himself. Touchdown! Kyle Rosenbrock untouched 37 yards away. Brush 13, Eaton 7.
So the credit there on that play is just all the times they ran that fly before with Bostrom picking up huge yards. You had a carry of 16, carry of 8, another carry of 8. And so all those Eaton kids were looking for Bostrom to get the ball on that end around, left Rosenbrock wide open up the middle. That's the same play that Greg Geno used to have a lot of success with.
Dave, you're absolutely right. They were keying on Bostrom there as soon as they saw him in motion. The extra point to be attempted by Jesus Cardenas off the hold of Mitch Tormolin. The snap is perfect. The kick is up, and that line drive is through. 11:41 to go, second quarter. Brush 14, Eaton 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 7 plays, 75 yards in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Kyle Rosenbrock scores from 37 yards away. His second touchdown of the game. And Brush now leads Eaton 14-7 as Jesus Cardenas booted the extra point. Austin Eckler, the deep threat, along with Britton Abbott, standing inside the 5. When Jesus punted in this direction last week, he booted one of those in the end zone. The prior one went back 92 yards for a score by Fort Morgan's Nate Alexander to begin the game. And that was going to be squibbed, and the ball's going to be fielded at the 22-yard line, running to his right across the 30 to the 36. One of the up men there for the Reds. And that was Wade Wilson before the Beat Diggers made the play a return of 14. And the Reds with pretty decent field position, 25 seconds into the second.
Brush is just kicking it all over the place. Now, I have a feeling Eaton's got some reverses called after that first pitch that failed for him there at the beginning of the game on their return. I think they got some tricks up their sleeve, but the Diggers are just kicking it all over the place, and it's not reliable for them.
1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. The Beat Diggers have not trailed in the game, and Kyle Rosenbrock is sprinting off the field, and just in time before the play begins. Here's the option left, the pitch left to Eckler, and Eckler tries to get by Bostrom. Then he's going to be hit hard by Randy Baker. Bostrom was able to hold up Eckler long enough so Baker could make the play at the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10, and that's Brush's best defensive play of the game other than the turnover they caused to begin the game.
I'm telling you what, Brett Bostrom showed up. He showed up tonight. He's doing it on offense. Again, on defense, they make that option pitch right over here on this side. Bostrom's playing this end on this side. He shot over there, and he didn't make the tackle, but he stayed with it. He kind of rolled to his back and was reaching up with his arms, just trying to get a hold of an ankle. Made Eckler trip up enough that it allowed Baker enough time to come in and clean it up. It was like a golf swing.
2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. One setback for the Reds. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Abbott will send a man in motion to the right. And he's going to option right. He'll keep the football, and he's going to be down at the 40 as he cut it back towards the middle. And that was Tyler Stratman made the play. Gain of 4, 3rd down and 6 on that keeper by Britton Abbott.
We had some trouble on that one. They went with motion. And so they had their twins over here on the left side. As soon as they went motion to the other side, we needed our safety to drift back and rotate over, and it was kind of late. You can bet Eaton saw that. They're going to try to take advantage of it here.
3rd down and a long 6. Jay Kilber is the receiver to the left. Eaton with a football just shy of their own 40-yard line. And with a hard count, that looks like that's going to go against Eaton. It will be a delay of game. That'll make it 3rd down and 11. But, Dave, I don't know if that's going to change the play call whatsoever.
Well, they dropped back to pass on that. That was going to be a passing play. And what we did is we had Peterson. He was up there as a strong safety. He was up close to the line of scrimmage, and he was showing like he was going to, play like a bump and run or maybe like just play the flats. But then right before the snap, he dropped back into that hook zone. And so I think he was in position there to help cover that in the flats as their outside receiver did about a 7-yard hook.
3rd down and a long 11, just shy of their own 35-yard line. Now 2 receivers split out to the right. 1 to the left. Watch out for Eckler on the inside slot to the left. Man in motion to the left is Sieg. Back to throw. Deep drop. There's the throw over the middle. Picked off by Rosenbrock at the 35-yard line. Along the left sideline to the 25. Down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds. The Reds have committed 3 turnovers on that little screen over the middle. And Kyle Rosenbrock read it perfectly. 1st down for the Beat Diggers, looking for a 2-touchdown advantage.
Well, Eaton's, he's lining up out there. The Diggers are all well aware that they're going to try to get him the ball. And again, just like on the play they had earlier where they just ran that little crossing pattern over the middle about 5 yards deep, that's what Eckler did. But Rosenbrock was the defensive end on that side. He just looked for Eckler and then stepped right in front of him to intercept it.
A return of 25 yards by Kyle Rosenbrock. 1st down. Dave, can they get a 1st down? Very close, because that ball looks like it's either just shy of the 10 Boy, it is very close. I mean, if they get a first down, it would be at the inch line. Rosenbrock and Bostrom in the backfield with the ball just shy of the 10. Rosenbrock, check that. Tormolen back to throw over the middle, and the pass is caught. Touchdown in the back of the end zone, and that is Ben Mickey. 10 yards away. Tormolen has thrown a touchdown pass for the 16th consecutive game. Brush 20, Eaton 7.
That's awesome. So it's the cousin connection out there. Tormolen just saw Ben Mickey come out of his tight end position. He ran straight down the field. It was more like a little six pattern, whereas it was more towards the flag, and he just did a good job of catching the ball with two hands and tucking it away. He was wide open.
The extra point to be attempted by Cardenas. Last year was the Reds getting off to that 2-touchdown lead. Now the Beat Diggers about to do it to the Reds, and there was movement on both sides, but I think the Reds, they did move first. Well, that will prompt Randy Dries to maybe go for 2, but how about that? He's going to stick with a 1. This is a different philosophy for the head coach.
Yeah, almost always. He always goes for 1 there, but, I remember.
For 2,
or it goes for 2, but, a year ago that caught us once in a game.
Against Bayfield, in the semifinals.
Time, he didn't even hesitate this time. We're not going to take our chance. We're going to get the easy 1 because he knows how sure Cardenas is with his kicking.
So here is Jesus to attempt a shorter extra point. The snap is perfect, and the kick is up. Boy, that's a beauty. 9:43 to go before the break. Brush 21, Eaton 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers forced a couple of key third quarter turnovers against Ray. 4 turnovers last week committed by Fort Morgan. And now Brush has forced 3 turnovers, including a Kyle Rosenbrock interception. Returned it to the 10-yard line. 1 play and 4 seconds later, Mitch Tormolen with a touchdown pass to Ben Mickey, his first as a varsity player. And now the Beat Diggers lead 21-7. And again, Abbott and Eckler back deep to receive. And we are still early in the second quarter. And Jesus squibs that football, and it's still loose. It's picked up by one of the up men at the 25. That's Wade Wilson. He's going to be tackled across the 30 to the 33. Holding off for dear life was Christian DeLong, as he made an excellent play, and the Reds with decent field position, but that hasn't bothered the Beat Diggers here recently.
No, we just did a good job last time of holding our ground. Remember, we got that big stop there on that initial option attempt, and when we forced Eaton into that second and long situation, it really put him at the disadvantage. So hopefully we can come out on fire on this very first play of this series.
1st and 10 for the Reds at their own 32-yard line. 2 receivers out to the left. There's the give to Eckler, running left across the 35, runs into his own man, has got the sideline, and now he's going to be taken down. He's got a decent gain. Randy Baker in there along with Eddie Arribas. But it was a gain of close to 6. 2nd down and 4 for the Reds.
Yep, we weren't ready that time. Our defensive line, they were I don't know what was going on out there, but they weren't facing the football. Eaton got up to the line of scrimmage, and here they are again. They're not looking. Eaton's up on the line of scrimmage, and our defensive line is not set.
2nd down and 4 from the 38-yard line. Under 9 minutes to go in the second. Brush 21, Eaton 7, and everybody moved except the snap from center, so that's going to go against the Reds. Everybody knew the snap count, and even Abbott was waiting for it, but the ball never moved.
Well, I'm getting nervous. I want our defensive linemen to turn around and watch the ball because Eaton's not spending time in the huddle. They're hustling up to the line of scrimmage, so our defense doesn't know what's going on. They're up there set, and then we don't get lined up, and they run the ball at us.
2nd down and 9 from the 33-yard line. For the best prices and special offers on top quality car parts and accessories, visit Central Auto Parts, 1001 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. And keeping community banking simple and committed to their community, Morgan Federal Bank, building today's business. That's Morgan Federal Bank. 2nd down and 9. They're a member of FDIC. The pitch right to Eckler. Has a seam to the outside. Across the 40. He's got daylight to the 40 of the Beat Diggers. Inside the 40 to the 30. And he's knocked out of bounds. A huge gain for Austin Eckler, well over 100 yards before he was knocked out of bounds, and he just turned on the afterburners. And they're still marking the football. Might be down to the 17-yard line. And yeah, if it is, that's a gain of 50 for Austin Eckler and a Reds first down.
So that makes him 142 yards now on 12 carries. And the Diggers defensive ends just cannot get hooked. Boy, the Eaton Reds are doing a good job of hooking us, and he's getting outside, and it's causing problems.
First and 10 from the Beat Diggers 17-yard line. Handoff to Eckler, running left, trying to swing it wide. He's got the 15-yard line, and nice tackle around the ankles by Randy Baker at the 14. That could have been much worse for Brush, but Baker holds Eckler to a gain of 3. Second down and 7 to go for the Reds as we approach the 8-minute mark of the second quarter.
Again, though, he got outside. Luckily, our linebackers came up and filled it, but our defensive ends are going to have to do a lot better job of controlling the outside shoulder of those tight ends and tackles that are hooking us.
It's not a no-huddle offense, but it's a very quick huddle offense for the Reds. Second down and 7 for the Beat Digger 14. The back's in an eye. The Reds resetting. Sieg is in motion to the right. And Abbott's going to hand it off right up the gut, and that looks like it's Wade Wilson still driving. The ball is loose, but it looks like the Reds have it as the Beat Digger stripped it very nicely. Wilson was stripped, but Davis Anders recovers for the Reds at the 9-yard line. So at the 10, just past the 9, a gain of 4 there essentially for Wade Wilson. Boy, well, the Reds got a little break there.
Yeah, they did, but I'll tell you what, that was Rosenbrock that was in there. He reached in there. We had him stood up. He reached in, grabbed the nose of the ball, and ripped it out of there. So the Diggers are going for those turnovers.
3rd and 3 from the 10. Rush has forced 3 turnovers here in the opening half. On 3rd down, Abbott hands it off to Eckler, running left towards the outside, first down. Pretty easy for him as he drove into Eddie Arribas at the 5. It's a gain of 5, first and goal for Eaton.
150 yards now for Eckler. But again, our defensive end just got consumed over there, and that's what's allowing him to get to the outside. They're either going to have to move out a little bit wider or just they're going to have to get a little bit more physical.
This will be the 6th play of the drive. Well, if Brush can score before the break, they receive the second half kickoff. That's part of the strategy, you would think. Plenty of time still in the second quarter with 6:39 to go. First and goal from the 5. Let's see if this is Austin Eckler time. It is. Hands off right up the middle, and he drives towards the goal line. But he's going to be short. He'll gain 3 yards to the 2. Kyle Rosenbrock makes the tackle on Austin Eckler, who, as Dave mentioned moments ago, halfway to 300 yards.
Again, though, all of our tackles are upstairs. You know, I know he's a good running back, but I guarantee he can't run without his legs underneath of him, and we're going to have to start taking those out instead of attacking his upper body.
All right, the official spot is the 3, just inside the 3. Second down and goal to go for the Reds. Brush 21, Eaton 7. Midway through the second. Jones and Eckler in the backfield. Sieg in motion to the right. Abbott, the pitch right to Eckler, trying to swing it to the outside. He's going to be taken down by Randy Baker and a host of others. They might have thrown him for a loss back at about the 5-yard line. And Brush had great pursuit on the left side of their line. And obviously secondary players coming up as well. It's a loss of 2, 3rd and goal for the 5.
You bet they showed some speed on that defense, didn't they, as they tried to stretch it out there wide. And boy, Bostrom did a good job of coming across the line there and slowing it down, and that's what allowed our linebackers to catch up, along with our corner over on that side, Jake Brown, coming up and helping to slow that thing down.
Big play for the Reds. 3rd and goal from the 5. One receiver to the left. Lining up on the right hash mark. Abbott gets the snap. Option left. Will he keep it himself? He will. He'll cut it back towards the middle. He dives. That's a touchdown for Britton Abbott from 5 yards away. He took advantage of the gap in the middle. And the Reds are to within 8. Brush 21, Eaton 13.
Yep, it was a keeper all the way. It wasn't even a bootleg that was sneaky. He just grabbed the ball and ran out to the left side. He had plenty of blocking, and the Diggers just didn't have anybody there to tackle the quarterback on that play. We had a lot of guys out there to prevent him from running that sweep, but we just didn't have that force to clean it up when he cut it back up the middle.
The extra point to be attempted by Sean Early. Snap is a little bit low, and the kick is right into the ground. I mean, I don't think it was blocked. I think he just kicked it into the ground. 4:54 to go, second quarter. Brush 21, Eaton 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 8 plays, 68 yards for the Reds in 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Britton Abbott scores from 5 yards out of the quarterback keeper. The extra point was no good, 21-13. B-Diggers have got to watch out for any type of onside or squib kick here, Dave.
Yeah, but Eaton lines up like that. You know, they have 7 guys on the left side and then 3 or 4 guys on the right side. So it would be easy for them to come out and just squib it over to one side because they have you outnumbered when we have 5 guys stretched across the middle.
Sean Early to kick it off for Eaton, and this one is going to be high and pretty short. It's going to be fielded by Eddie Arribas at the 15, running to his left to the 20, back towards the middle, across the 25. Hold on to that football. Looked like they were going to try to strip that thing, and he's down at the 25-yard line. Initial contact by Trevor Foose, a 5'8", 151-pound junior. And now the B-Diggers, Dave, have got to be very careful here. 4:47 to go before the break. Critical point in the game. Leading 21-13 with the ball at their own 25-yard line.
Well, we want to aggressively go after that touchdown, that's for sure, just to try to build on that lead right after we get the ball in the second half. But at the same time, we can't be so aggressive that we give Eaton the ball back with a lot of time left.
1st and 10 for Brush at their own 25. Tormolin hands it off on the right side to Rosenbrock, swings it wide, stiff arms a defender, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Excellent play by Kyle Rosenbrock. That defender was Austin Eckler. He's going to gain, I believe, 5 yards. They're still marking the spot. Yeah, gain of 5 to the 30. 2nd down and 5.
So that takes Rosenbrock down to 52 yards on 5 carries. So the Diggers in good shape now, just establishing that running game. I just love to see them, attacking like they've been attacking these last couple of weeks.
2nd down and 5 from their own 30-yard line. 4:41 to go, second quarter. Brush 21. Eaton 13. Bostrom and Rosenbrock are split in the backfield. Handoff, Bostrom running up the gut, and he's down after a gain of close to 3 yards to the 33. Might give him the 34. As the initial hit was made by Garrett Colson. 3rd down. Well, we'll call that a short 2 after the gain of 3 by Bostrom.
Yeah, Eaton's still in that 5-3, and boy, are they ever creeping their linebackers up there. I watched their 2 outside linebackers. They were up there within a couple of yards of the line of scrimmage this last time.
On 3rd and 2 from their own 33, B-Diggers need a 1st down here. Hand off to Rosenbrock, right back towards the middle. He dives across the 35-yard line. Looks like he's got it from here on the gain of 2 by Kyle Rosenbrock, and the drive should continue. Dave, let's congratulate B-Digger cross-country runner Anthony Thomas. I mean, that's a huge race today, that Liberty Bell Invitational at Heritage High School. He won the race by .07 seconds over a Faith Christian runner, so congratulations to Anthony Thomas. And, of course, on Thursdays from 1 to 2, 10-10 preps and more on Thursdays each and every week during the cross-country season. We speak with head coach Jeff Marcus. 1st and 10 for Brush. The football's at their own 35-yard line. With 3:45 to go in the second quarter. Baker is in motion to the right. Tormolin back to throw. Heaves it up the left sideline. That pass is going to be incomplete. At the 32, Jake Brown was well defended. 2nd down and 10.
So Tormolin now 1 for 5. He threw that thing out there. The guy that had the better position, though, was Eaton, because that's a pass you want to throw over to the outside shoulder. It was to the inside, so luckily he threw that deep enough to where neither one of the guys could get to it. The good thing is it's going to keep the Eaton coaches thinking about, not sending linebackers and keeping their guys at home.
The B-Diggers have really opened up the playbook tonight. 2nd down and 10 to go for Brush at their own 35-yard line. Brown is now the outside receiver to the right. Pretty tight formation. There's the pitch right for Eddie Arribas along the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds after a relatively short gain to about the 38. It'll be 3rd down for the B-Diggers, and problem there, the clock stops with 3:32 to go. A gain of 4, 3rd down and 6 to go after that pickup by Eddie Arribas.
Yeah, but he couldn't help going out of bounds there. You know, it's a short field, ran a quick pitch to the short side of the field, and he was just trying to get as many yards as he could. I'll tell you what, Eckler, that cornerback on this side, did a great job of getting rid of his blocker and flying up there and knocking him out of bounds.
Trips to the left. Rosenbrock is the lone setback. 3rd and 4 from the 39. Tormolen back to throw, looking to his left, rolling to his right. Pressure coming. He's going to be sacked. Hit hard at the 33-yard line. He was swallowed up over there. Ethan Alamon in on the play along with Dalton Shoup, who made the initial contact. It's only a loss of 1. Back to the 35. Or check that, a loss of 4, I should say. Loss of 4 on that sack. 4th and 10. B-Diggers will have to punt. So now a critical moment in the game. Austin Eckler standing back at his own 38-yard line. Rosenbrock at his own 21. The snap is perfect. And that boot is a wobbly line drive. Eckler's going to let it bounce, and he's going to take a B-Digger roll inside the 25 to the 22. It's a punt of 43 yards. And now it's up to the B-Digger defense to keep this at an 8-point game.
Well, they got to keep an eye on where Eckler's at. Look at right there. He hasn't been the return man, and then they know they need the touchdown, so they put him back there. And luckily, Rosenbrock, being the student of the game that he is, knew better than to punt it right to him. He kicked a nice low kick over here to the short side of the field where, the team would have a lot better job of having some coverage. 1st and 10
for the Reds at their own 22-yard line. You don't have to close on your house alone. Northern Colorado Title at 130 West Kiowa and Fort Morgan will provide you with a stress-free closing. That's Northern Colorado Title. 1st and 10. The Reds reset along the right side. Sieg is in motion to the left. Now back to the right. Abbott is going to roll to the right. Looks like he wants to throw. Throwing off his back foot. It's up for grabs. And that pass is going to be picked off by Rosenbrock. There is a flag down at the 45. Boy, that should be offensive pass interference. Rosenbrock was in perfect position.
Yeah, he played the ball all the way, and he was looking back for it. He wasn't going for the receiver, but I have a feeling the official is going to go after Rosenbrock on this play, which if he does is a terrible, terrible call.
Yeah, Rosenbrock was on the inside, and Rosenbrock now lifting his hands in the air, wondering if that's against him. But he clearly had the position. But there are 2 separate fouls on this play as we have 2:27 to go. These are critical calls. One is in the Eaton backfield, and one is in the Brush defensive backfield. Holding against the Reds. Pass interference against Brush, and that is a horrible call. Horrible call. And Randy Dreitz is several steps out into the field. That is a horrible call. I mean, I could say that 5 times, and it doesn't emphasize the point enough.
Yeah, I wish I could emphasize it even more, but that official didn't pay attention to where Rosenbrock was at. He was looking back for the ball the whole time. He played the ball the whole time. He wasn't even looking at the receiver. Like you said, if there was any interference, it was going to be against the Eaton kid because Rosenbrock has just as much a right to go up for that ball as that kid does.
Well, rarely do I remember how I described a play, Dave, but I believe I said the ball was up for grabs. So that doesn't tell you that it certainly was interference. Atrocious call. That could change the last 2 minutes and 27 seconds of the opening half. Should have been a pick. Handoff to Eckler up the middle. Spinning out of a tackle. First down across the 30 to the 35. And again, that's why it could change what just happened with horrendous officiating. And the ball at the 36. A gain of 14 for Austin Eckler and a Reds first down.
Well, nonetheless, we've been saying it the whole game. We've got to start tackling at the hips, below the hips. That time he came through the line of scrimmage and our guy tried to wrap him up, above the waist, and he just spun out of it because he's a powerful runner.
1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. The B-Diggers lead the Reds 21-13 with 2:12 to go in the opening half. Britton Abbott, the quarterback, has the football, hands it off to Eckler, running right towards the sideline, cuts it back to the middle. He's still got good yardage. B-Diggers had him contained, but he's across the 40 to the 41. Maverick Seawald made the tackle, but it's a gain of 5 for Austin Eckler as we are at 1:51 to go before the break, and the Reds have their timeouts.
But even there, Seawald caught him from behind, but instead of going in and diving at his legs, making that tackle to his legs, he jumped on his back, and Eckler's strong enough to carry him.
2nd down and 5 for the 41-yard line. B-Diggers looking to make a defensive stand. on second down. Here's the pitch left to Eckler behind him, and he's going to get taken down in the backfield for a loss by Kyle Rosenbrock. An errant pitch, and it's a loss of 3. And let's see what the Reds do if they're quickly up to the line of scrimmage. No, they're going back to the huddle, but they do have to take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. 1:10 to go, second quarter. Brush 21, Eaton 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers lead 21-13 with 70 seconds to go in the opening half. A critical play in this game for Eaton. 3rd down and 8 to go at their own 38-yard line after Austin Eckler was thrown for a 3-yard loss, and now Randy Treitz talking to one of the officials. I think they're definitely discussing that pass interference penalty, Dave, which was completely bogus against Kyle Rosenbrock.
Oh, we shouldn't even be in this position right now. We should be on offense, and I just hate it when you see something like, and it's, sorry for keep going on about it, but it's like, if even a knucklehead like me can tell the difference between that, you'd think he would. He's getting paid.
3rd and 8 from the 38. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Trent Sieg is in motion to the right. Abbott back to throw, looking deep over the middle. That's going to be incomplete. Austin Eckler was out there, but well defended by Ben Mickey, who's already got an interception in this game. 4th down, and I would think the Reds are going to punt here.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to send the punt team in. They don't want to take a chance of giving us a short field. You're right, Ben Mickey had good coverage there, but he wasn't looking back for the ball, and had that pass been a little bit closer, he might have been in trouble for face guarding.
Now let's see, Dave. Austin Eckler's on the field. And I say that. Remember what happened 2 years ago in Eaton? Right. A fake punt that went for about 40 yards.
Yep.
All right, the Reds know that they are having issues stopping Brush. They have stopped him a couple of times. And Eckler's back there to punt.
Yeah, he's the punter, so he can keep it and run easy.
If I'm Brush, I do not pressure him at all. I just let him punt it away. Be very conservative here. He's standing at his own 26-yard line. There's the snap, and he's running to his right, and he's going to take off with a football, but he's not going to get a first down. He's going to be hit at the 40-yard line. A very bad decision by Austin Eckler, who thought he had daylight and had none. It's only a gain of 2. He needed to get to the 46, and the Beat Diggers have the football with 2 timeouts remaining and 57 seconds to go in the opening half.
You almost jinxed us remembering that play 2 years ago. I was nervous as soon as he started to roll right, but I'll tell you what, our defensive end over there on that side and also our linebackers did a really good job of being patient, not over pursuing, and just stepping up there to make a sure tackle.
Well, I'm shocked they made such in my mind, a reckless decision. Now you could be down by 2 touchdowns with Brush getting the ball to open the third quarter on 1st and 10. Tormolen looks like he's setting up a screen, throws it up the right side, and that is going to be dropped. Maybe knocked away at the last second, intended for Eddie Arribas at the 25-yard line. Had it had a little bit more on it, no doubt it would have been caught. I don't know if the ball was knocked away or Arribas just dropped it, but he had a step on the defender.
Yeah, probably another one of those passes where we needed a little touch on it to get it up over the defender's head, but it was a good play. I love how they're stretching this defense out. We've got to come back here now, and we got to at least get 20 yards to put Cardenas in position to kick a field goal.
But you know that Beat Diggers are thinking touchdown right now. 51.3 seconds to go before the break. 2nd down and 10 for the Eaton 40-yard line. Tormolen's going to hand it off to Rosenbrock right up the gut, and he breaks the tackle at the 35, still on his feet at the 30, and he stumbles his way to the 27. There was a late fumble, but the official's going to say that Rosenbrock was down, and that's the right call. It's a gain of 13 yards and a Beat Digger first down. The clock does stop for the movement of the chains as the football's being placed at the 27-yard line. 44.5 seconds to go. Beat Diggers right up to the line of scrimmage. The clock is restarted. Brush has 2 timeouts remaining from the Eaton 27-yard line. Tormolen back to throw, and he throws it to his right. The pass is caught underneath, and breaking a tackle is Baker along the 20. Still on his feet, and a first down for Randy Baker. What a play by Baker, who should have been tackled about 5 yards back. Instead, it's a gain of 12 yards. 1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at the 15.
Just a real similar play to what Brush ran before when they weren't able to complete it to Arribas. Arribas turned it upfield. That time Baker just ran out here towards the sideline on it, down and out, and just made a nice pass there and a great catch.
Beat Diggers call their second timeout, brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East with 29.8 seconds to go. Dave, this would be the perfect recipe for the Beat Diggers if they could score right now. I mean, it goes without saying. Jesus Cardenas is warming up in case he has to attempt a field goal, but obviously the extra point would be that much better as the football's just inside the Eaton 15-yard line. Kyle Rosenbrock has had a big night for Brush so far, as he has got a couple of touchdowns. Ben Mickey with a 10-yard reception. It's not been all positive, though, Dave, as we'll talk about that at halftime, as the Brush defense has come through when they've had to, but it's been a lot of Jekyll and Hyde so far. Brush's local Napa and Hardware Hanks, a small engine repair shop, is Hometown Auto and Hardware. Stop by and let them help you today. Hometown Auto and Hardware, 1305 Edison Street, again in Brush. First and 10 for the Beat Diggers at the 15-yard line. Randy Baker getting that helmet back on after he delivered some punishment on the last play. Trips to the left. Rosenbrock is the lone setback. On first and 10, Tormolin again back to throw, pressure coming. A screen out to Rosenbrock to the 10, up the middle to the 5. Rosenbrock, touchdown! He broke an ankle tackle and scored! Kyle Rosenbrock with his third touchdown of the game. Second touchdown pass by Mitch Tormolin. And the Beat Diggers now lead 27-13 on that one from 15 yards away.
Yep, I'll tell you what, the credit on that play has really got to go to the Tremolin, who was able to get that pass in there. He not only had to make a good pass, but foremost, he had to know where his receiver was at because he had a lot of pressure, and he almost had to throw that thing. It was such a last-minute throw, he got hit right after he made it.
The extra point to be attempted by JC. The low snap. The kick is up, and that one is good. 22.8 seconds to go before the break. We'll keep it right here. The Beat Diggers up 28-13. A complete reversal of what we saw last year in terms of not the margin, but who was on top.
Right, I'll tell you what, the Diggers are just playing some smart football right now, but they're just walking that line, with some of in that danger zone for me. I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat because, we keep having these little mistakes that are here and there that are preventing it from being easy. But I guess that's what happens when you play against the second-ranked team in the state.
Eaton ranked third by the Denver Post going into this game. And Brush is ranked second with Ken Denver sitting at number one after they blew out Florence last week. Dave, but what about the play calling by the Beat Digger coaches? I mean, it's been outstanding.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, that screen right there, knowing that Eaton's running that 5-3 and they're sending linebackers like crazy all the time, they know they just got to get a little ways behind them before they can score, so they're just trying to get on the other side. Eaton's just playing real aggressive, and I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with that defensive line. They got some big kids up there that are pretty athletic.
Well, now you know the Beat Diggers are going to squib it. Maybe even towards the sideline. Just keep it away from Eckler. You got to kick it right. And Jesus kicks it right towards the middle. It'll be fielded by Wade Wilson at the 20. Straight ahead. He's got a seam to the 40, but a flag is down along the sideline to the 50, and Jesus Cardenas wrestles him out of bounds in Beat Digger territory at the 43. A return of 37 yards, but it looks like that should be coming back.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he's talking to that Eaton kid. The Eaton kid's trying to show how he didn't block it right, but Eaton's doing a good job with their hands. They get a hold of our shoulder pads inside that square on our chest, and they do a good job of sticking to you once they make contact with the block.
Block in the back. Regardless of the block in the back, you know that Coach Trites is pretty nervous just watching what he saw. Thank goodness for the flag.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, Cardenas was there to make the tackle, and that didn't happen last week. This time he did a good job of using the sideline, got his head in front on the tackle, and was making contact at the hips.
All right, the football will be placed back at the 24, so that cost him 33 yards of field position.
Boy, Brush has got to pay attention where Eckler's at. It'll be interesting. They may give him the ball. Maybe they'll ask him to throw it. I don't know, but tell you what, wherever he's at, he's the guy that's going to get it.
Watch for the trick play unless they're just going to hand it off. 14.4 seconds to go for the Reds, down by 15. First and 10. Abbott will hand it off to Eckler on the counter, running right to the 25. He's got a seam to the outside of the 30. Runs across the 35, still on his feet. Tackled at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 21 as Randy Baker makes the tackle. 5.4 seconds to go. This half is not over yet. Eaton has one more play.
Yep, again, our defensive end just giving up that containment there on the outside. And I'll tell you what, Eckler's happy to look like he's going inside and bump it out there. We've got to make sure that we stay disciplined out there and control that outside shoulder of that blocker.
Dave is going to need another sheet just for Austin Eckler alone. 21 carries for 190 yards in the game. I mean, that is...
Well, to our advantage, he should be tired.
That's a game,
right?
not a half. Yeah, exactly. So with 5.4 seconds to go, yeah, I think you got to run a trick play here.
Yeah, I think they're just going to try to find him someplace. They put him out there. Maybe they'll put him in the backfield and try to get him on a flare, but they're going to try to get him into the open field and see if he can't just use his athleticism to make something happen.
Austin Eckler's a guy, Dave, that I think could play at the next level at a small college. I mean, with that type of explosion.
Oh, yeah, he's quick, and I'll tell you what, like we said earlier, he runs just powerfully. When you tackle him, you're going to pay the price.
1st and 10 for the Reds at their own 45-yard line. This will be the final play of the half unless it's a defensive penalty. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The backs are split. Eckler is the deep back. Rolling to his left is Abbott. Still rolling. Heaves it up the left sideline. That pass is going to be caught, but that's going to be the end of the half, all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 33 as Davis Anders made the catch. And that is the end of the opening half with the score. Brush 28, Eaton 13 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back with Dave Uhrig at Beat Digger Stadium, where the Beat Diggers lead 28-13. We'll head to the third quarter momentarily, as Kyle Rosenbrock has been one of the key players in this game, and Kyle Rosenbrock has been our player of the game each of the first 2 games, and he's got 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. So you're talking about a receiving touchdown, 2 scoring touchdowns, and
he should have 2 interceptions.
You're right. He should have. You're right, because one of them was ridiculous. So, and again, Dave and I do this objectively. We don't slant towards one player, but when you're having the games that Kyle Rosenbrock is having, it's a team effort. But boy, he's taking over these games unlike any other player. He's playing a key role. So we'll see if the Beat Diggers do receive the second half kickoff. And Dave, you hate to say it, but if the Beat Diggers score to begin the second half, that could be the nail in the coffin. I mean, they did that to the Ray Eagles in week 1. They did that to Fort Morgan last week, turning a 19-17 deficit into a 24-19 lead and ultimately a 31-19 victory. And, the Reds have got to figure, I don't know, speaking from the Red standpoint, from the Eaton standpoint, what Brush is going to throw at us.
We have a lot of different weapons out there, and the Diggers have done a good job of mixing things up, throwing it on first down and trying to get those Reds to leave their linebackers at home. But you're right, boy, they got to be confused. But their defense is really aggressive, and they're fast. The Diggers taught them a lesson. They told them, stay home, because if you don't, we're going to throw this screen at you, and that's what they scored on this last time with Rosenbrock.
Don't let finances stand in your way of pursuing your college education. Visit MCC Online. That's right, Morgan Community College, at www.morgancc.edu, or stop by the campus for a personal advising session that will get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. No matter what age you are at MCC, you can imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goal. Morgan Community College. Dave and I will not be back at Beat Digger Stadium for a while. That'll be 3 weeks from tonight when they take on the Strasburg Indians. Dave and I will be in Kersey a week from tonight against the Platte Valley Broncos. Then the Beat Diggers play a Saturday game. That will be 2 weeks from tomorrow in Greeley against the University Bulldogs. And after tonight's game, assuming the Beat Diggers hold on and win this game, 2 keys: stay healthy and just get better as a football team. Don't develop any sloppy habits just because the competition will get a little bit weaker.
Right, and just refine things, because remember, we talked about it the first week with all the guys scoring. There's a lot of sophomores that are playing out there, a lot of underclassmen, and so they have a lot to learn about, technique and stuff. One example of that is how our defensive ends have been getting hooked a little bit tonight. So, there's a lot of things, if we do get by this game, that it's going to give them plenty of time to practice on some of these techniques so these kids can get confident. Another thing is, over the years in the playoffs, we've had a lot of situations where we're playing against teams that platoon their players. So it's going to give us a lot of opportunities to get some other young guys on the field so that maybe as we get deeper into the season, there's going to be more guys that can play and give our starters a bit more of a rest so we don't have so many guys getting that fatigue factor.
Without a doubt, as Sean Early will be kicking it off for Eaton. And again, you've got to watch for something unconventional from Eaton on special teams. We saw Austin Eckler take off with the football, which is a decision that he's got to regret. And you're right, with an athlete like that, when you take your chances, it usually will pay off more often than not. But if he didn't get that first down, it was going to result in a brush score, and it did. And let's face it, Dave, you're up by 8 versus being up by 15. That changes the second half completely as far as both teams are concerned.
Oh, absolutely. And it starts right here. I would not be surprised if Eaton didn't go with an onside kick right here.
Absolutely.
They've already gambled. I think that's out of character for Coach Mont. I haven't seen him gamble that much. He's a low risk kind of a coach.
He's a percentage coach.
Yeah, he plays it like you're supposed to. But with him doing that already, I wouldn't doubt it if they went with it right here.
Sean Early running up towards the football, and this will be a high, pretty deep kick. Randy Baker is going to catch that in the end zone. And the Beat Diggers will have the football at their own 20-yard line. A second expired off the clock. That should not have happened.
Well, we just got to control or take care of that football and get a couple of first downs here as we start deeper in our own territory than we have.
So Brush at their own 20-yard line with Mitch Tormolen and the crew. A very effective crew, as the Beat Diggers have scored over 100 points this season. 81 going into this game, and they've got 28 tonight. That's 109 points. There's the handoff to Rosenbrock, cutting it back towards the middle. He's going to be swallowed up after a short gain to the 22. A bevy of Reds made the play, including Wade Wilson. 2nd down and 8 for Brush.
Yep, we just try to run that 26 over here on this side, but they just got some beef up there, number 51, Dalton Shoup, he's 226 pounds. Trent Sigg, he's 241 pounds. They got some size up there that's kind of hard to move.
2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Alec Peterson is the receiver to the right. Be a big stop for the Reds if they can come up with it. In motion to the left is Baker. Movement along the left side of the Eaton defensive line. However, the Beat Diggers also moved, and that'll cost them 5 yards.
Yep, our right tackle, he wasn't disciplined that time, and he jumped. He knew the count. He jumped, and now we're 2nd and long.
2nd and 13 to be exact for Brush. The Beat Diggers up 28-13. As we are very early in the third. Yeah, it's going to take a big play here to get them out of that bad field position. In motion to the left is Baker from the 17. Tormolen hands it off right up the gut, and nothing. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage is Kyle Rosenbrock. They'll give him a yard to the 18. That's it. Dalton Shoup made the play. And now it's 3rd down and 12.
Try to run just that crossbuck action like it was our trap. But, boy, they just got that size up there. And that time Garrett Colson, he's 188 pounds. He's the smallest guy up there for him. Also number 73, Byron Branson, he's 242 pounds. Those guys just zeroed in on Rosenbrock.
3rd down and 12 for Brush at their own 18-yard line. The mark to make is the 30. Passing situation. Tormolen is going to roll to his right, looking to throw, sets, throws along the sideline, and off the hands of the intended receiver, Jake Brown at the 30. Incomplete. Kyle Rosenbrock will punt for the 3rd time in the game.
Boy, he was wide open, and Jake Brown jumped up. He just ran straight down the field till he had his 1st down yardage, made his cut to the sideline, went up with both hands, and it was just clear over the top. He barely tipped it. And, boy, if he would have been able to catch it, that was an easy 1st down.
Eaton's going to have very good field position unless Rosenbrock gets off a missile here.
I hope Rosenbrock kicks it right out of bounds because Eckler's standing right on the 50.
We don't have to tell you how big of a threat he is. A little bit of a high snap. Rosenbrock gets it off a wobbly punt towards the middle. Eckler has it at the 45. He's hit right there in Beat Digger territory on the open field tackle by Eddie Arribas.
And a flag just shot up in the air after the tackle, and usually that's usually an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, it's sitting at the 40-yard line. And the Reds are walking backwards, which would be a great sign for the Beat Diggers. Dave, I think you nailed that one. After the whistle. So the football should be on their own 40-yard line.
Boy, that helps out. Even though Eaton's offense is so explosive, 60 yards is nothing to them. But, I was really nervous because that's the kind of penalty that you hate to see, any of your players commit, no matter what stage of the game it is. And it's just good to see that our kids aren't engaging in that kind of behavior.
Well, the Beat Diggers ate up less than 2 minutes on the clock. So this is still anybody's ball game. Brush leading Eaton 28-13. 10:02 to go, third quarter. On 1st and 10 for the Reds. Just shy of the 40-yard line with two receivers out to the left. The back's in a 9. The deep back is Austin Eckler on his way to a 200-yard-plus night. And he has got the football right up the middle, and he dives across the 40 to the 44. Gain of 4. Tyler Stratman made the play for Brush.
They just ran right in between their guard and their tackle over here on this left side. That ISO action, they get that extra blocker over there, and our linebacker ends up on his heels having to eat that fullback as he runs right at him.
You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best and most advanced hearing health care. Visit Platte Valley Hearing Center, 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan, Platte Valley Hearing Center. 2nd and 6 from the 44. Abbott will pitch it right to Eckler, looking towards the outside. He's got the 45, breaks out of a tackle inside the 45 to the Beat Digger 43. They had him bottled up. Tyler Stratman had to make the play. It should have been maybe a gain of 1 or 2. But instead, he goes for 14 yards and a Reds first down.
So that puts him at 208 yards. And again, like you said, we're making contact with him, but every time we try to tackle him, it's above his waist. And he's just too strong to bring down like that.
Well, thank God it's a 2-score game right now, but plenty of time left in this football game. 1st and 10 for Eaton at the Brush 42-yard line. Two receivers out to the left. The quarterback, Abbott, will hand it off to Eckler. A sloppy exchange. He's going to be down at the line of scrimmage. Maverick Seawald was able to make the play. The quarterback and running back, Abbott and Eckler respectively, kind of bumped into each other.
Yeah, they just ran into each other back there. The quarterback dropped back on that handoff. It was like a sprint draw where Eckler just stood back there and waited for the handoff, but they just ran into each other.
Handoff looked more like a handover. 2nd down and 10 from the Beat Digger 42-yard line. 8.5 to go, third quarter. Brush 28, Eaton 13. Receivers split out each side. Abbott with a long count. 5-step drop, looks to his left, throws. That pass is complete. Wide open, first down across the 30. Back to the middle to the 25. Slamming his way inside the 25 to the 24 is Reese Weigel. And that gain is going to be 17 yards for the Eaton Reds.
It was a blown coverage as we had a guy that needed to be covered in the flats. Both of them went for the in guy, and nobody stayed out there for the flat guy, and I think our corner was supposed to roll up and have that coverage.
1st and 10 inside the Beat Digger 25-yard line. Now both receivers are out to the right. But this could be Austin Eckler with the football as Abbott turns around, hands it off to Eckler up the middle, and he drags his way towards the 21. They might backtrack it to the 22. Maverick Seawald makes the play, a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 to go as we approach the 7-minute and 45-second mark of the third.
It's encouraging, though, as we've seen these last couple of tackles, guys going for his hips and lower.
Stop by and shop and save with all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. Brush Grocery Card, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush, the Brush Grocery Card. 2nd down and 7. Ball it around the 21-yard line. Hand off, Eckler, right side, cuts it back towards the middle. Drive, spins, looks like he's got a first down at about the 15-yard line. Given a gain of about 7 yards for Austin Eckler. And I don't know if they'll measure it. Looks like a first down from here, and it is for Eckler and the Reds.
They're just getting some really good surge against our defensive tackles, and at the point of attack, we end up on our heels there a little bit, and when our defensive linemen get pushed backwards, it's hard for our linebackers to come up and fill.
Eaton trying to make this a one-score game. 1st and 10 from the Brush 15-yard line. Head off to the fullback. Hit right there is Wade Wilson by Maverick Seawald. No gain for Wilson. 2nd down and 10. That's what you have to do eventually to the Reds. Force them into passing situations if you can.
Right. I'm shocked that they even gave it to Wilson with the way Eckler is controlling the football game offensively.
Well, he's got to be tired, Dave. He ran 5 of the first 6 plays of the drive. He's just probably gassed at this point, even though he's in great shape.
Yeah, he's got 218 yards on 26 carries.
And 21 of those carries, I believe, in the opening half. 6.5 to go in the third. 2nd down and 10 for Eaton at the Brush 15-yard line. 2 receivers out to the left. Abbott, play action, looking to throw, looking to his right, throws off his back foot. The pass is caught, breaking a tackle inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line as Jake Morrow makes the play. Wade Wilson makes the catch, but it's a gain of close to 8 as the ball will be placed at the 7. 3rd down and 2.
Just more terrible tackling right there where we had him about 5 yards further upfield, but our guy just flew up there and tried to arm tackle him rather than flying in and attacking his hips and legs.
Meanwhile, Eaton is using up some time on this drive. Well over 4 minutes. 3rd down and 2 from the 7. This has got to be to Eckler, you would think. Abbott, handoff. Eckler, left side, hit at the 6, but I think he drove to the 5. If he's short of a first down, it's by a couple of inches. He's right there at the stick. A gain of 2 for Austin Eckler. I believe they will measure, though, as the clock is stopped with 5:31 remaining in the third quarter and Brush up 28-13. And now the clock rewinds. It is short. Oh, boy, that's 4th and very, very short. And Eaton calls a timeout, which surprises me. You're going to need those timeouts in the fourth quarter with 5:24 to go and Brush up 28-13. I mean, you would think, when are you going to hold Eckler to nothing?
Well, in his last 4 carries, he's only had 12 yards, so we've got him back down to a 3-yard average, which is a lot less than where he was at for a while.
Yeah, he did have 1 gain of nothing, but even a quarterback sneak should be able to get this done. I mean, they don't have a yard to go. That's 4th and inches, and I don't mean 7 or 8, because that ball is right at the stick. I mean, it's got to be 2 or 3 inches short of the first down marker, if even that.
I'll tell you what, if there was ever a time for some sound tackling and putting our shoulder pad on people rather than arm tackling, now's the time tonight.
Well, you have to believe now that the Reds are going to take it right up the gut, whether it's a quarterback sneak or a handoff to Eckler. Those are really the only 2 options, the best 2 options for Eaton. 4th and inches at the 5. Abbott, quarterback sneak, that's a first down. He's going to get to the 4-yard line. And the drive continues. Looked like the knee was down, but they gave Abbott the forward momentum.
Yeah, it looked like his knee hit on about the 5-yard line there, but he was leaning so far forward, I guess they placed the ball right about where the ball was.
1st and goal at the 4.
That Eaton offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage on that one, though, because they certainly had that surge ahead.
On 1st down, Abbott will turn, hand it off to Eckler, running right side. He spins, he scores. Austin Eckler is into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. This one came from 4 yards away on the 11th play of the drive. Brush 28, Eaton 19, with a huge conversion coming up, because if the Reds do not convert, it's still a 2-score game.
Yeah, they've got to go for 2 here. The Diggers just have to do a better job tackling. If I was going to say the nemesis of the night, it's just being physical.
And they could elect to go for one, make it an 8-point game, and then go for two later, but they go for two now and miss. It's going to cost them.
I really am shocked at the chances that Eaton's taking and not playing the percentages and kicking it right here.
Yeah, because they could set it up for a 2-point conversion later. Eckler's the lone setback. Two receivers to the right. Abbott will send Sieg in motion to the right. And we have got a timeout called by Eaton. Oh, Dave, that's a huge mistake. You've used your second timeout, only one timeout remaining. You're down by 9. Keep in mind, we still have 17 minutes of football to play. You would have thought that they had this worked out beforehand. And that's why I think the play was just to kick the extra point. But now that you've taken the timeout, you can't kick an extra point. You got to go for two, you would think.
Yeah, I think they've got to go for two now just because the chance of being behind late in the game and, need that timeout if they did have to go for two at that point.
Northeastern Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan is Equitable Savings and Loan with locations in Fort Morgan and Brush. And like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Greg Mullen is there. Let Greg Mullen work with you to get the discounts you desire and the coverage you need. State Farm agent Greg Mullen. Here comes a huge conversion. And they will go for two to make this a 7-point game. If they make it, Eaton is right back in the game. If not, they're still down by 2 scores. And the Bee Diggers have firm control. Abbott with Eckler as the lone setback. Will send a man in motion. Sieg to the right. Rolling to his right is Abbott. Still looking, throwing, and that is going to be, is it caught? Yes! Holy Mahungus, just inside the sideline on the far side, inside the pylon or beyond the pylon. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Brush 28, Eaton 21 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 11-play, 60-yard drive in 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Austin Eckler scores from 4 yards out, a 2-point conversion pass. We didn't even see who caught it. I mean, it was along the far sideline. Pretty dark on that side. Either way, it doesn't matter. 28-21, that's what does matter. The Reds are right back into the game, and this will be a high, fairly short kick. It'll be caught by Arribas, backing up and dropping it at the 7, running to the 10, across the 10 to the 11. That's it. And now Brush needs a time-consuming drive, taking the lead into the fourth quarter to feel better about this ball game, because right now Eaton has the momentum.
Boy, they sure do, and it seems like we're just lacking a little confidence out there defensively and offensively. But on that play right there, Arribas went for the catch, and he kind of had to go over his shoulder to catch it, and then when he dropped it, he picked it up, and he really wasn't decisive. He really needed to tuck it away and just run hard straight ahead rather than tiptoeing around.
Arribas is in the backfield with Kyle Rosenbrock, 1st and 10 from the 11. Baker's in motion to the right. The pitch right to Arribas. He doesn't have any running room, and he's going to be taken down for a big loss. Back to the 5. Lots of Reds in on that play. And looks like Garrett Colson was one of those Reds. 2nd down and 16. At the 5-yard line, the Bee Diggers in big trouble right now.
Field position is just killing us right now. We got to make sure we go for those positive yards. Again, in that situation, just dancing around back there rather than paying attention to where that line of scrimmage is at and just running hard to the sideline and trying to turn it upfield.
2nd down and 16 from the 5. Tormola now looking to his right, and did the Bee Diggers call a timeout? I think they did. Confusion there for the second time in this game, as the Bee Diggers were getting ready to run a play. Brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. 4:03 to go, third quarter. Brush 28, Eaton 21 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Brush was up 28-13 at the break. It's now 28-21 with 4:03 to go in the third. I'm John Beltran with Dave Uhrig. And right now, Brush has a 2nd down and 16 at their own 5. Talk about play calling. You're going to need it right now, with the Bee Diggers 95 yards away from the land of no hash marks. Arribas remains in the backfield with Kyle Rosenbrock. Brown in motion to the left. And there's the handoff to Rosenbrock right up the middle, and he drives his way across the 10 towards the 11, maybe the 12. And Brush needed that play. Wade Wilson made the tackle. Back to the original line of scrimmage, a gain of 6 by Rosenbrock. 3rd down and 10 to go.
Just doing that, running right at him. But, that's what you got to kind of do, We got a lot of great players on the team, but you get in these clutch situations, you got to make sure you get the ball into the hands of your workhorses.
Huge play in this game. 3rd and 10 for Brush at their own 11-yard line. Rosenbrock drops the football, and he's going to have to fall on it as he held the ball on his right hip, and he's going to lose 5 yards back to the 6-yard line. Check that, Tormolen. I don't know why I said Rosenbrock. It was a bootleg right. I meant Mitch Tormolen. So the loss of 5, 4th down and 15.
Yep, that was a tough one there. We were going to bootleg over here to the weak side, and looked like we had a lot of those Eaton players running over the wrong way, and looked like the play might have been open, but now we're in a situation where Rosenbrock's going to have to kick it right out of the back of the end zone, and hopefully we get a good snap here.
We got 2:48 to go in the 3rd. Brush is up by 7. High snap, and it goes over Rosenbrock and out of the end zone for a safety. A disaster, and the Beat Diggers now lead 28-23. 2:44 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 28-23. Brush with a lead over Eaton, but a bad snap over the head of Kyle Rosenbrock, who was standing near the back of the end zone. Goes obviously out of play for a safety. The Bee Diggers can elect to either punt from their own 20 or kick it off. But the Reds will have the football with a chance to take the lead, which they have not had in this game. Brush has been up 21-7 and 28-13. But so far in this 3rd quarter, it's belonged to Eaton, Dave.
Boy, that's for sure. And right now we're not really in a position where we can afford to squib kick it. I think you got to kick it as hard as you can and just hope that it doesn't go into Eckler's hands.
He's back deep to receive. That one is squibbed hard, and it's fielded by Wilson at the 40, running straight ahead to the 49, and he's hit at the 50 by Christian DeLong, who's been very good on special teams. Bee Diggers might take the lead into the 4th, but by the 4th quarter, the Reds might have the advantage for the first time. They got the ball at the Brush 49-yard line. And here come the Reds. Bee Digger crowd has been silenced here.
If you're Eaton, I think you're going to strike as fast as you can right now and really try to take advantage of this momentum shift.
Reds have 1 timeout remaining, even though we're still in the 3rd. Bee Diggers have 2 remaining. 2 receivers out to the left. Abbott will pitch it right to Eckler, swinging it to the outside, and he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. Might have driven to the 48 for a yard. Kyle Rosenbrock was out there. And Randy Baker. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 48, and the Bee Digger defense has got to make all these plays now.
Boy, they sure do, and they got to remember to tackle low, because even right there, we had him behind the line of scrimmage, but he still was able to get forward for a yard gain just because we were jumping on his back.
2nd down and 9 from the Bee Digger 48-yard line. 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Brush 28, Eaton 23. Handoff, Eckler jitterbugging his way towards the 45 before he was swallowed up by Oscar Soto. Well, they're only going to give him 2 yards here. 3rd down and 7 to go. Eckler's been held in check here.
Yep, 228 yards now for Eckler on 30 carries. It's about 7-yard average tonight.
Yeah, but a lot of that in the first half. There's a big one, 4th and 7. Check that, 3rd and 7 for Eaton at the Brush 46-yard line. 2 receivers are flanked to the left. On 3rd down, Abbott rolling to his left, looking, stopping, throwing. Intercepted by Rosenbrock, and there's going to be a face-masking penalty. Rosenbrock breaking tackles at the 36-yard line, still going across the 40 to the 45, and Rosenbrock has his 2nd interception of the game and give the Bee Diggers more than likely 15 more yards.
I'm saying 3rd interception of the game still, John. I'm not giving up on that bad call.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, it looked like he was grabbed by the face mask. We'll see if that's a preliminary indication. Yep, so the Bead Diggers will have the football at the 40-yard line of the Reds. That's a big play. Now Brush can reestablish the momentum with 1:09 to go in the third quarter.
Well, the play woke everybody up here on the sideline. You can tell Eaton's out there. You know, they're kind of standing there with their hands on their hips a little bit. The Diggers are running up to the line of scrimmage. They're coming after him now.
Fourth turnover tonight by Eaton. The Bead Diggers have not given the ball away. 1st and 10 from the Eaton 40. Arribas and Rosenbrock in the backfield. Tormolen rolling to his right with a bootleg. Takes off with the football to the 35. A seam to the 30. He's knocked out of bounds. First down. An excellent play call because the Reds were kind of congested in the middle with 1:05 to go in the third. And the gain is 13 yards for Mitch Tormolen as he got the football to the 27.
Yep, 35 yards now for Tormolen on that play. And the reason things were so congested there in the middle is because Eaton blitzed their middle linebacker and their outside linebacker on this side. They had nobody over here to get the containment after we had the defensive end hooked.
1st and 10 from the Eaton 27-yard line. Rosenbrock hands off, or check that, Tormolen to Rosenbrock inside the 25, breaks a tackle, dives to the 19. A gain of 8 yards for Kyle Rosenbrock before he was tripped up. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Bead Diggers.
Now he broke about 3 tackles there as he ran off tackle on this side behind that lead block in there of Arribas on their defensive end. And I'll tell you what, it's like he just was refusing to go down.
And Dave, notably absent is Brett Bostrom. We're not sure what happened with him. We don't see him on the sidelines. He played in the first half. Hopefully he didn't re-injure himself, but I don't even see him in uniform.
Yeah, he had 43 yards in that first half on 6 carries. He was a definite weapon.
2nd down and 2 from the Eaton 19-yard line. Could be the final play of the third quarter. Handoff Rosenbrock. First down inside the 20-yard line, and he drives inside the 15 towards the 13. That guy is a hoss. A gain of 6 for Kyle Rosenbrock as the clock is stopped for the movement of the chains with 14.6 seconds to go, and that should be the final play of quarter number 3. With the score, Brush 28, Eaton 23. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beat Digger Stadium. We head to the fourth quarter. Brush holding on to a 5-point lead, 28-23 over the Eaton Reds. However, the Bead Diggers have the football. 1st and 10 at the Eaton 13-yard line. Bead Diggers trying to capitalize on another Eaton turnover. The third interception thrown by Britton Abbott. It was picked off by Kyle Rosenbrock. And you'd figure, Dave, that Rosenbrock's got to be the workhorse here. With the ball at the 13-yard line. Rosenbrock is in the backfield now with Jake Morrow. 1st and 10 with a back split from the Eaton 13-yard line. Tormolen hands it off to Rosenbrock, and he's going to be hitting the backfield. He's going to lose a yard or 2. He had nowhere to go running right. And he's down at the 15-yard line, 2nd down and a short 12.
Well, you tried to run it off tackle there, and Rosenbrock, maybe that was one of those situations where he needed to just get as much as he could, but he just tried to make something happen. He bounced it outside, and boy, that Eaton defense is just so quick. They just flew up there and were able to stop him at the line of scrimmage and drive him backwards a little bit.
2nd down, a short 12 from the 15-yard line. The Diggers might be tempted to pass. Tormolen, bootleg right to the 15 along the sideline. He's knocked out of bounds. He had no room over there. He was able to pick up 2, maybe 3 yards as Wade Wilson made the tackle. But the Bead Diggers weren't going to get a lot of yards out of that one. 3rd down, and we'll call it about 7 or 8 there as the ball's sitting at the 12-yard line.
Be interesting to see what we do here, going for that pass, or do they run it over here to the middle of the field a little bit more so Cardenas has got a better shot at a field goal.
3rd down, we'll call it about 7 from the 12-yard line. Man in motion to the left. There is the pitch left, and swinging it to the outside is Arribas to the 10, and he's inside the 10 as he was dragged down by the shirt tail towards the 7. So a nice 5-yard pickup by Eddie Arribas. They'll be short of the first down. But now you wonder if the Beet Diggers go for it here, or if Jesus Cardenas can make this an 8-point lead. Yeah, that'll be 4th down. That's a good 3 to 4 yards to go there. The ball's just inside the 8-yard line, actually. So we'll call it the 8. They've got to get just inside the 5. So it's 4th and a long 3 for Brush. Brown, the receiver, to the left from the 8-yard line. Tormolin with a hard count, trying to knock Eaton offside. Tormolin, bootleg left, inside the 5-yard line towards the pylon. And is he in? And I don't think he's in, but he bobbled the football.
It rolled out of bounds, actually. He fumbled it, and it rolled out of bounds for a couple of yards. So we'll see what the officials do here as they mark it. And there you have it. It's a first down, so we got a lucky bounce.
Yeah, I got completely shielded from this vantage point. It looked like he had the first down, and they're going to mark that football at about the 2-yard line, so give Tormolin about 6 yards in the play.
You know, that's the second fumble he's had on that bootleg. He's really going to have to tuck that thing away.
1st and goal from the 2. Tormolin hands it off. Rosenbrock hit at the line of scrimmage. He drives towards the 1, but I don't think they're going to give him the 1. He was driven back. Officially no gain for Rosenbrock. 2nd down and goal. 10 minutes to go in the game. Brush 28, Eaton 23.
Yeah, they sent the house that time with that linebacker again, and then the near side linebacker. And boy, they're just their defensive tackle over here on this side. He's a pretty big dude, about 240 pounds, and I'll tell you what, he just drove into the backfield and just ate Rosenbrock up.
2nd down and goal for the 2. Tormolin hands it off to Rosenbrock left side. He's going to dive into the end zone. Touchdown for Kyle Rosenbrock from 2 yards out. His 4th touchdown of the game. Brush 34, Eaton 23.
They're sending Cardenas out there on the field now to kick this PAT, and Rosenbrock did a good job. You could tell, we talked about it last week, how he does a good job of trusting his blockers and following them. And that time, boy, he covered the nose of the football with 2 hands, and then he made his jab step with his left foot and cut up inside that off-tackle play. And he got some good blocking there from Randy Baker and from Maverick Seawald.
All right, the extra point to be attempted by Jesus to give the Beet Diggers a 12-point advantage. The snap is high. It's dropped by Tormolin. Rolls to his right, and he's going to be tackled. 9:38 to go in the game. Brush 34, Eaton 23 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
13.
All right, the Beet Diggers put together an 8-play, 40-yard drive in 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Kyle Rosenbrock with his 4th touchdown of the game from 2 yards away. PAT was no good as the ball went through Mitch Tormolin's hands. And that's a big missed PAT, Dave, because now Eaton, if they score and go for 2 and they make it, they're to within a field goal.
Yeah, it's a 3-point game there. So, that I'll tell you what, we're blessed because Eaton's had plenty of turnovers to help us out tonight, and they've shot themselves in the foot. But, little miscues like that have really, really hurt us. In that third quarter, Eaton had 75 yards. We had 37. They really did control the show.
High kick. Abbott will field it at the 10. Drops the football. Picks it up. Runs to his left to the 15. A flag is down along the left sideline. Daylight to the 30-yard line. And he's knocked out of bounds at about the 35. But Eaton is going to have atrocious field position because 2 flags were thrown. And they're going to have the football more than likely inside the 15 or 10-yard line.
Yeah, there was an obvious hold there, and it was thrown right at about the 20-yard line. So they're going to take it 10 yards back from there. That kid basically just tackled our guy. But again, it's because Eaton's doing a good job. They really are doing a good job of grabbing hold of our shoulder pads, on our numbers, and then they maintain that contact and drive us. But, when our guy keeps running, that forces them into a holding situation.
Your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard, and they now carry appliances. Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. 1st and 10 for the Reds at their own 10-yard line. 9:26 to go in the game. Beet Diggers lead by 11. 4 touchdowns tonight from Kyle Rosenbrock and 1 from Ben Mickey.
No big plays now. Let's let them eat that clock.
Yeah, Eaton only has 1 timeout remaining. And there's the give to Eckler, running right, breaking out of a tackle. Across the 10 to the 15. Kyle Rosenbrock makes the hit. Or was that the other back through there, Dave? That
no, that was Eckler.
Yeah, that was Eckler. Yeah, 2nd down and 5. Yeah, I mean, he's got the running style of just a fierce running back.
Yeah, they pulled their left guard and came over and trapped Seawald on that, and that's what opened that play up so much.
2nd down and 5 for the 15. Abbott hands off to Eckler, running right side. A short gain across the 15 to about the 17, maybe the 18. Maverick Seawald makes the hit. Gain of 3, 3rd down, and 2 yards to go for the Reds with 8.5 to go in the game. Brush up by 11.
235 yards now for Eckler on 32 carries. That's a lot of yards.
Oh, a ton. 3rd and 2 from the 18. Not necessarily a passing situation considering it's 3rd and 2. Let's see if they give it to Eckler again. Abbott back to pass. Looking. He's going to take off with the football, but Maverick Seawald has got him. He breaks a tackle, though, across the 20-yard line. He's got the 1st down. He was nearly sacked, but Abbott had enough strength to get to the 24 and pick up 6 yards and keep the drive going for the Reds.
You know, just when you're upper bodying on those guys, those turn into arm tackles if a guy keeps driving his legs. And we've just got to do a better job at tackling down low. I don't know how many. I wish I hadn't have said that so much tonight because it's driving me crazy.
Like I said, Dave, let the time tick off the clock. But plenty of time left in this game. With 7:45 to go. 1st and 10 for Eaton at their own 24-yard line. Receivers out to the left and the right. They're looking for the big play. Abbott, deep drop, looking, rolling right, pressure coming, and he gets out of pressure. Then he's going to be sacked. He is going to be sacked inside the 15. Oscar Soto makes the play. That's a big-time sack right at the 15. And a loss of close to 9. 2nd down and 19.
You bet he did a good job, but what he tackled, he was down there around his knees and ankles. He wasn't up there on his back. Got to credit that secondary of Brush because he didn't have anybody to throw it to either.
2nd down, and they're huddling up, and they're taking time in that huddle. Now we're under 7 minutes to go. 2nd down and 19 from the 15-yard line. Another passing situation perhaps, or does Abbott give it to Eckler? He's going to pitch it left to Eckler, looking for the big play, swinging it to the outside. Rosenbrock is there, and so are the other Beat Diggers to make the play after a very short gain. Maybe a yard for Austin Eckler. Oscar Soto in on the play along with Rosenbrock. 3rd down and 19, no gain for Eckler.
Yep, 235 yards still for Eckler, and they just try to do that quick pitch out to the outside because he's so dangerous, and he can pick up as many yards as anybody on a rush. Just he needs some open field, and the Diggers did a good job of slowing him down, stopping him, and then there was a lot of gang tackling there.
There we go. It's 3rd down and 19 to go for the Reds at their own 15-yard line. They've got to get to just beyond the 33, just shy of the 34. Abbott rolling to his right, still rolling, pressure coming backside. Abbott's going to take off with the football across the 20 to the 25 before he's tripped up there. Oscar Soto all over the football field along with Tyler Stratman. They'll give him the 26. It is a gain of 11 for Britton Abbott, and the Reds are going to be forced to punt.
Boy, what a big defensive series for Brush, going back to that huge sack of Soto's, and Diggers did a good job of putting him in those long yardage situations, and boy, am I ever grateful that Eaton took so much time off the clock.
Yeah, it's 4th down and about 8 to go. Eckler to punt, we think, with 5:12 to go in the game. Awaiting the snap is Eckler. It's a low one, but he is going to punt. End over end. It's going to bounce to the 41, take an Eaton roll inside the 35 as Randy Baker lets it go. Let's see if it's down to the 33. Punt of approximately 41 yards. So now the Beat Diggers have control in this game and of the game. with 5:01 to go, up 34-23. Officially, the mark is the 34-yard line. And keep in mind, Eaton with only one timeout remaining in the game.
Yeah, the Diggers just got to get a little drive going here and put that defense on their heels, and you'll start seeing the momentum shut that defense down.
Committed to serving those in production. Ag, Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending, and look to the team at Valley View Villa for rehab, short-term or long-term needs. 815 Fremont, 867-8261. Baker is in motion to the left. 1st and 10 for the 34. Handoff Rosenbrock at the 35 to the 40-yard line. Into the secondary at the 50. Then the ball is stripped at the 42-yard line. Did Rosenbrock fall on it? Yes, he did. Wow. I mean, this kid is amazing. Clearly a fumble, but somehow he fell on his own fumble, and he picks up 23 yards in the play. And the Beat Diggers retain possession.
Yeah, he got lucky there. That puts him up to 113 yards. He broke the 100-yard barrier. But, normally that doesn't happen to him. The reason that happened, though, I think, is he had the ball in his left hand. He was using his right hand to stiff-arm the kid, and the kid was able to reach across and knock the ball out. So Kyle's going to have to remember, that's how this team's going to win, is with the turnover. He's not going to be able to give it up.
1st and 10 for the 42. After another big gainer from Kyle Rosenbrock, third time he's gone over 100 yards this season, went over 200 last week against Fort Morgan. Baker's in motion to the left. There's the give on the left side to Morrow, across the 40 to the 35. He's got the sideline to the 30. Speed to burn at the 20. First down for Jake Morrow as he's dragged out of bounds. Another big play for a Beat Digger running back. And for Jake Morrow, a gain of 27 yards as he was dragged out of bounds at the 15.
Boy, he showed a lot of speed there, didn't he? He bounced it out to the outside and gave a big stiff arm, but he's got some good blocking there from his wide receiver over here, and it's neat to see Jake get the ball, 27 yards.
The Reds controlled the third quarter. The Beat Diggers have taken care of the fourth so far. 11-point lead with 4:20 to go. 1st and 10. Fresh running backs for the Beat Diggers. Rosenbrock, check that. Tormolin hands it off on the left side. That is Jake Morrow inside the 15 to the 13. I don't know, I'm getting Rosenbrock and Tormolin confused. I mean, they obviously play different positions. Either way, it's 2nd down and 8 after the short gain by Jake Morrow, who just had a 27-yarder moments ago.
Yep, and what a good job he did covering that football as he ran into a lot of traffic over there.
The important thing, the clock continues to move.
Typically, you'll see Tremolin, he'll be watching that back judge to see if he can click some more time off the clock. But this last play, he didn't do that. He just went up to the line of scrimmage and ran it.
And this time, he is taking his time. 2nd down and 8 from the 13. Play action, looking to throw, pressure coming, and he is going to be sacked. Tormolin did not see Trent C. coming, and he was slammed to the ground at the 20. It's a loss of 7.
It was one of those schemes where your tight end on the right side was going out for a pass, so there was nobody there to block that defensive end, and Sieg just kind of came in, and it was like the dream tackle for that defensive end.
Oh, now it'll be 3rd down and 15. And let's see if the Beat Diggers call a timeout. We have a stoppage with 3:11 to go. See, now the question is, Dave, do you keep it on the ground and use that clock up? Well, there certainly is an issue, I guess, with the clock, as head coach Randy Dreitz is looking up towards the booth. Stubbs Gas and Oil at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there today to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name, Stubbs Gas and Oil.
Usually you think when you're in the home team, they say, they're running the clock too much. They want to set some more time on there, but the officials actually said run it a little bit more.
Should have been running. The clock will start on my ready.
Here we go. 3rd down and 15 to go. Just a clock issue that has been resolved with the ball at the Eaton 20-yard line. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Beat Diggers keep the ball on the ground, because right now the clock is their friend. With an 11-point lead, we are under 3 minutes to go, and Tormolin taking his time until that play clock gets to about 5 seconds. Then he'll snap the football. or he'll accept the snap. On third down, Tormolin on the bootleg left, holds it on his left hip, cuts it to the inside of the 15. He's down to about the 10, and all the way inside the 10. He might have gotten the 7 or 6 yard line, which means more than likely if he's that close, the Beat Diggers will go for it as he was knocked out of bounds with 2:35 to go. Looks like the 8 yard line. It's a gain of 12. Dave, I think you go for it here.
I gets him 49 yards on 10 carries, and I got to agree with it. 4 yards out, it'd be kind of a tough kick because you're clear over here on the left hash mark, not in the middle of the field.
Beat Diggers will go for it. 4th and 3 from the 8 yard line. Arribas and Morrow in the backfield. And do we have a timeout called by Brush? We do. Second timeout taken, brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. And we'll take it with him. 2:35 to go in the game. Brush 34, Eaton 23 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 4th and 3 for Brush at the Eaton 8 yard line. John Beltran with Dave Uhrig with 2:35 to go in the game. Brush 34, Eaton 23 from Beat Digger Stadium. And the Beat Diggers will go for it. If they don't make it, the Reds have got to go almost the length of the football field. Again, Arribas and Morrow in the backfield. Alec Peterson is the receiver to the right. On 4th down, Tormolin back to throw, looking over the middle, and that pass might have been batted down or slipped out of his hand. It is incomplete, and the Reds will take over.
Yeah, they went for that 81 dump. They faked a 24 on the right side and then try to throw it back to the left side. But our tight end was covered by a defensive end and a linebacker and a corner over there. So those guys were knocking him down the whole time, kind of expecting that play.
Oh, the Reds will have it at the 8 yard line with 2:31 to go and 1 timeout. They're going to need a huge play. They essentially are looking to score within the next, you would say, minute and a half to 2, and then an onside kick. Yeah, I don't think you can give it to Eckler right now and expect something big out of the backfield, although he is explosive. And there's the handoff to Eckler running left. He's got nothing, and the ball might be loose, but it's not. Players were diving towards the middle. It's a gain of 1 to the 9, and Brush's run defense has drastically improved here in the second half as Joe Carwin made the tackle.
You bet. In the last 11 carries, Eckler hasn't had a single carry over 7 yards.
He had a 50-yard gain in the opening half. 2nd down and 9 to go from the 9. With 1:56 to go, and Brush up by 11. Sieg is in motion to the left. Abbott is going to roll that way. Still rolling. Throwing on the run. That pass is going to be caught. First down. Looks like. Let's see who made that catch. That was Davis Anders. Right at about the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 12. And the clock does stop and will not restart until the next play commences. So 1:44 to go. This could be Brush's toughest opponent of the year, and we found out why, just because of Austin Eckler by himself. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. 1st and 10 for the 21 for the Reds. Abbott is going to roll to his right, continues to roll. He's going to take off with the football across the 25-yard line, slams into Randy Baker and others. He'll be down at the 30, maybe the 31. He's right at the stick. It's a gain of 10, and they're stopping the clock because that looks like a first down.
Yeah, we were talking about Brush's effectiveness on Eckler. So he's in his last 11 carries, he's only had 28 yards. And he had more than that in his first 3 carries of the game.
1st and 10. And the clock is not rolling now. Do the Reds take their final timeout? And they do. 1:33 to go. 4th quarter. Brush 34, Eaton 23 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 34-23 Brush With 1:33 to go, the Reds have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. And if they want to get back into this game, they're just going to have to throw it on virtually every play, because Eaton is out of timeouts. They've got 2 receivers out to the right, including Casey Eatons, 1 to the left, and I think that's Eckler out there. Abbott back to throw, looking to his left, still looking. Heaves it over the middle. That pass going to be incomplete. Nearly a diving interception by Alec Peterson at the 48-yard line, intended for Reese Weigel. 2nd down and 10 to go. We're down to 1:26 remaining.
I think they were using Eckler as a diversion. He just ran straight down the sideline over there in front of the Eaton bench on a big bomb play. But I never did see Abbott ever look over that direction.
2nd down and 10. From their own 26, the Beat Diggers are 86 seconds away from improving to 3-0. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Sieg is in motion to the right. Abbott, deep drop, still looking, deep over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Falling down at the 43 was Sieg. 3rd down and 10 to go for Eaton.
So now Abbott 6 for 11 with those 3 interceptions, and like you were saying in the break, their passing games just, it was their best friend for a while, but now it's really turned out to kill them.
The friendly staff at High Plains Bank in Wiggins is ready to assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account to receive hometown service on a higher plane. Visit High Plains Bank today. 3rd and 10 for the Reds. This is a 2.5-hour contest so far, and we're still not done. They've got to get to the 41-yard line on their own side of the field. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Abbott rolling to his left. He might take off with the football, throw on the run, wide open, complete to Anders. 1st down at the 45. It's a gain of 14. And the drive continues here for the Reds. They would go for it anyway on 4th down if they didn't make it.
That takes them to 100 yards on the night, completing 7 of 12 attempts. But it was the exact same plays that they completed, or the play that they completed to Anders earlier. Last one was 12 yards. This one was 14.
1:14 to go in the game. Still plenty of time here for Eaton as far as they're concerned. But they don't have any timeouts, so they cannot keep the ball in the middle of the field. They've got to get 1st downs on every play or incompletions. Pitch left to Eckler, uses the sideline to the 50, still on his feet to the 45. He is free at the 30, down the sideline to the 20. Jake Brown chasing him. Eckler is gone. Holy Mahungus, touchdown. 55 yards for Austin Eckler, and there's still a minute to go in the game. Brush 34, Eaton 29.
Holy cow. That takes him from all the way from 236 all the way up to 291 yards tonight. That's a lot.
Well, they're going to go for 2. They've got to do that.
He's so fast. Once he got to the sideline, our kids kind of they kind of let up a little bit thinking he was out of bounds, but he just tiptoed a little bit, regained his balance, and then ran away from everybody with all that speed.
Hey, this is still a game if Eaton recovers an onside kick. Well, I have no idea what they're doing here, going for the extra point, because they would have to score another touchdown if they recovered an onside kick, if they only made an extra point. And that kick is up by Sean Early. That's good. That makes no sense whatsoever to me, but the Beat Diggers will take it 34-30.
Yeah, there's a coaching error there. I can't believe that.
Well, that is a monumental mistake.
Yeah, it's unusual. You don't see Rick Mont making a mistake like that.
Yeah.
Or Bill Mont. Rick Mont's his brother.
Right, but if you're still playing to win, which Eaton is obviously doing that, why do you go for the extra point? And you go for the 2-point conversion. You have to score a touchdown. If you miss the 2-point conversion, you still have to score a touchdown. But if you made it, obviously, it's simple math. So Brush leads 34-30 with a minute to go. And all the Beat Diggers have to do is make one play, recover an onside kick, and the game is over because Eaton has no timeouts.
Yeah, you look at the numbers out there. We have our hands team on the field, and Coach Dreitz and Coach Schwint were out there talking to him, reminding him that you got to take possession of this football. We cannot let their offense come on the field again.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's very quiet, Dave. I don't think we'll hear anything until the Beat Diggers recover that onside kick.
Having Alec Peterson go back and be the deep man, even though he's not going to, they're not going to kick it there. You got all their other 10 guys right up here within, 15 yards of the ball. There are 7 guys that are the other kickoff guys. They're clear over on the Eaton side of the field as they're going south. So if they do an onside kick, chances are they're going to be kicking it over there towards that Eaton sideline, and chances are number 50 right there is going to be the one that does it.
Yeah, Arribas, Gutierrez, Baker, Rosenbrock. A lot of guys on their hands team there. Conrad Cole. And the onside kick came to the left side. Well, that's too bad, Dave. He kicked it so hard. There was no way that Eaton could have recovered that, but the flag was thrown prior to that.
Well, our guys that are there, you can't be in front of the 50. And our guy that was the wide out guy over there on that side, he was standing in front of the 50-yard line, so he was basically offsides on the kick return. So another one of those situations that where we're just kind of, we're not sure of ourselves, not using our heads.
Oh, and now Eaton will kick it off from the 45.
That was the perfect onside kick for us, though, that he kicked, because he kicked it hard. It took that nice bounce and just bounced right into our guy's hands.
Way too hard. So here we go on the right hash mark. Sean Early will onside it from right to left. That one is a little bit softer, and the ball is loose, and I think the Reds have got it. And the Reds have recovered the football, I believe, at the Brush 43-yard line. They have.
Randy Baker went up to recover it, but he didn't wait for it to pass 10 yards. He went for it faster, and then, he touched it, so it's their ball at that point.
Eaton's got the ball at the Brush 43-yard line with 56.9 seconds to go.
I think Randy's point is, though, he didn't touch it. I'm not sure that he did. I think he's saying, I didn't touch it.
Well, it took a wild hop, but either way, you've got to let that go 10 yards. But he thought he was going to field it on a true hop. Boy, this could be a miraculous comeback for the Reds. They were left for dead. Austin Eckler's the receiver to the right. 1st and 10 from the Brush 43. The Beat Diggers have picked off 3 passes tonight. 56.9 seconds to go. They're up 34-30. Abbott rolling right, pressure coming. The pass is going to be caught along the sideline. 1st down. And that is caught over there by Nick Schreiber. Inside the 30 to the 28. It's a gain of 15 for Schreiber. And the Reds are that much closer. 50.9 seconds to go. All right, this is a shock right now for the Beat Diggers. They had this game won. All they had to do was stop the Reds on a couple of plays. 1st and 10 for Eaton at the Brush 28-yard line. They don't even need timeouts. Abbott back to pass, looking right, pressure coming. A flag is down. Abbott will roll to his left, heave it way towards the end zone, and that is going to be picked off by Rosenbrock. No, it's not Rosenbrock, but Mickey picks it off. Ben Mickey picks it off. That flag more than likely will go against Eaton, and the Beat Diggers have preserved the victory unless it's against Brush.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as a hold penalty all the way.
Well, let's see. One of the offensive linemen for the Reds says it's against Brush. But the ball was thrown, the flag was thrown in the backfield. Mickey picked it off in the end zone. Oh, boy, that is against Brush. Personal foul, hands to the face. 39.5 seconds to go. The Reds retain possession.
And they get to mark some yards from here. That's the really hard thing.
Wow. Rarely do you see a flag thrown in the backfield against the defense unless it's a roughing the passer. And that football is all the way down to the 15-yard line, just inside the 15. 39 and a half seconds to go. And the Reds might be able to pull this off. Two receivers out to the left, one to the right, one setback. Back to throw is Abbott. Pressure coming, throws off his back foot towards the end zone, and the pass is caught for a touchdown. That is Austin Eckler, who made the catch, and the Reds lead 36-34 with 32.8 seconds to go. An incredible comeback by Eaton.
One of those deals where we just relaxed a little bit too much. Started thinking we had it in the bag. You know, we were on that defensive series there at the end, and we had Eckler over there on the sideline. We let him tiptoe and just run right into the end zone, and just didn't do a good job of taking good care of the football. Got to do just a better job of managing that time on the clock.
Here comes the extra point by Sean Early. And a low snap, and now the holder's got to run with the football. Eaton's taking off to the 5-yard line. He's going to be down at about the 3 as Casey Eatons cannot get into the end zone. So it's a 36-34 game. All the Beat Diggers need with one timeout remaining is a Jesus Cardenas field goal to pull this out.
Well, luckily we got a kicker that can do it. You know, we got plenty of weapons out there, you know, guys that can make the plays to get the ball down the field, and we got some timeouts. So
Eaton had the ball at their own 8-yard line with 2 minutes, 31 seconds to go. Out of timeouts. But a 55-yard run by Eckler, who's had a huge game tonight, by the way.
Yeah,
huge. I mean,
yeah.
And now the Beat Diggers need a big return. They've got 32.8 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Eckler had 291 yards on the ground. Another 21 yards receiving. Yeah, that's a lot of offense for one guy.
Yeah, and he scored 4 touchdowns. So here we go.
You know, that onside kick there that we had before, just lining up on the wrong side of the 50-yard line, you know, when it was going to be a kick that we were going to be able to secure, that really hurt.
32.8 to go. The Reds are looking to pull off what has been a miraculous comeback. There's the kick. It's going to be into the end zone as it goes through everybody. Baker cannot get it. Brush is going to need about 50 yards, Dave. They're at their own 20-yard line to begin this drive. 32.8 seconds to go as the ball took a hop at about the 10 and just rolled into the end zone.
Well, one thing about it, if we aggressively go after them here with our passing game, you know, there's a lot of chances for some defensive pass interference. Plus, we have the receivers that can catch the football, and we got a quarterback that can throw it. So it's not over yet, just like it wasn't for Eaton.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 3 receivers out to the left, 2 to the right. Rosenbrock is the lone setback. Now 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Let's see if Eaton comes with pressure. Back to throw Tormolin, looking, throwing off his back foot. The pass is incomplete, intended for Jake Brown at the 28-yard line, and Tormolin had to get rid of that football because the pressure was coming. 28.9 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, he was kind of having to roll left. A right-handed quarterback, that's tough to do sometimes as he was trying to come back this way. And, again, he got that pressure over there from the right side.
2nd down and 10 from the 20. Baker, the outside receiver to the right. Peterson on the inside slot. 2 receivers out to the left, including Jake Brown. Tormolin, a deep drop, pressure coming backside. Tormolin is going to throw it with his left hand. That should be grounding. And it's going to be grounding against the Beat Diggers. The clock does stop. I mean, Tormolin did the smart thing. Here comes a second flag. He had to get rid of that ball because if you don't get rid of it and the clock keeps rolling, you got to use a timeout. He had to show a desperate measure there. But it will be intentional grounding on Mitch Tormolin. A stunned crowd here in Brush. It'll be 3rd down and 20. That's a loss of down. The ball will be back at the 10 as well. That 55-yard run by Eckler, Dave, that was the killer.
Yeah, and then that onside kick, the first onside kick attempt, it was like the perfect bounce right into our guy's hands. Then not being able to cover that second one and maybe coming up and touching it before it ever got that 10 yards down the field.
Wow, the ball's placed at the 3, too, yeah.
We have to secure those onside kicks,
3rd and 27. With the ball at the 3, it was a 17-yard penalty. Tormolen back to throw, throws a screen over the middle. The pass is tipped up, intercepted, touchdown. Let's see who caught that pass for Eaton on the tip. And it looked like it was intercepted. Is that a 77 out there? Either way. If it is, I don't have a 77 on the roster. Reds now lead 42-34, and the Beat Digger fans are heading towards the exits.
Yeah, they're piling out of here in a hurry right now. And I don't blame them. When you get so close to having a win, it's tough to handle. But again, even though we all wanted to win the game, it's really important to remember we need these losses sometimes to make us better.
Yeah, I've got to check who intercepted that pass. Here comes the extra point to be attempted by Sean Early. This team has scored 19 points, and is that going to be 20 here? 20 points they have scored in a span of 41 seconds. Eaton leads 43-34. The conversion is good. Randy Dreitz will be denied his 100th career coaching win, as all the Beat Diggers have to do is receive the ensuing kickoff. But this game is over, and the Beat Diggers, unless the Reds lose a couple of games within league play, the Beat Diggers will not win the Patriot League this year. And this has happened in shocking fashion, Dave.
Oh, that's for sure, and it's just so bitter, when you have something in your hand and then you lose it at the last minute, it's so hard to stomach, and that's what makes it just so much worse. But, giving up all those points within a minute, of the end of the game, just that relaxation ended up just kind of catching us.
Well, that was it. I mean, they continue to run the football. I mean, you would think running the football, you're not going to get it done, but when Eckler took off up the left sideline, I mean, the onside kick was certainly a factor, but
it was a quick pitch left.
That's all it was.
We just needed to push him out of bounds. But, it's just that poor tackling pretty much all game was something that haunted us.
And Sean Early will kick it off for the Reds. Beat Diggers led by as many as 15. They led by 15 at halftime. There's a line drive. Baker at the 9, and he had a knee down. Baker had a knee down, 17.9 seconds to go. Might as well just hand it off here, Dave.
Yep, or down it. Just get that clock to run and get this thing over with.
Oh, the Beat Diggers will learn from this setback. There's no question about it. But to blow an 11-point lead with over a minute to go, I believe it was a minute 10 to go, and Eaton had the ball at their own 45-yard line with no timeouts. And as you mentioned, the simple pitch left to Eckler, and he turned off the afterburners. And it was still a mistake, in my opinion, Dave, that they didn't go for 2.
I agree. I thought that was the game right there. I thought just the fact they didn't go for 2, there wasn't going to be a chance for an overtime.
Beat Diggers have 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. And there's the give to Rosenbrock. And he spins across the 9 to the 11. That'll be it. The gain of 2 for Kyle Rosenbrock, and the game is over. The Eaton Reds have shocked the Brush Beat Diggers 43-34. It's a 3-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Dave Urich back from Beat Digger Stadium. Welcome to the Beat Digger post-game show, brought to you by Buildings by Design. Buildings by Design and Brush takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837. Building today's business, Buildings by Design. The Brush Beat Diggers are shocked at home by the Eaton Reds, 43-34. Here's how the game went. Beat Diggers scored on their first possession after Riley Jones fumbled for Eaton. And Brush went 5 plays, 29 yards in a minute 39. Kyle Rosenbrock scored the first of his 4 touchdowns. PAT was good. It was 7-0. Back came the Reds. Austin Eckler with a 15-yard run, capping off a 7-play, 80-yard drive in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. PAT was good. Game was tied at 7. And then Beat Diggers would come back and grab a 14-7 lead after a Ben Mickey interception. Rosenbrock scores from 37 yards out, a 7-play, 75-yard drive in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. PAT was good. It was 14-7. And then as the game progressed, the Beet Diggers were able to build on that lead as they went up by a score of 21-7. And that was after an interception by Kyle Rosenbrock. He had a couple in the game. Ben Mickey with a 10-yard touchdown catch off a pass thrown by Mitch Tormolin. Eaton, though, responded. An 8-play, 68-yard drive in 4 minutes and 42 seconds. Britton Abbott scores from 5 yards out. The score was 21-13 as the PAT was no good. And then Austin Eckler made a big mistake with about 2 minutes to go for the Reds as he was at a punt formation, decided to run the football. He was stopped at his own 40-yard line. Beet Diggers would capitalize. 35 seconds later, a 15-yard screen pass to Rosenbrock. It was 28-13 at the break. Eaton came back as the Beet Diggers went 3-and-out in their first possession of the second half, and the Reds responded. An 11-play drive, 60 yards in 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Eckler scores from 4 yards out. The 2-point conversion pass was good, making it 28-21. Beet Diggers got poor field position with 4:53 to go in the third. Starting at their own 11, they went 3-and-out. Well, they wanted to make it 3-and-out, but then the snap towards the punter, Kyle Rosenbrock, went over his hands out of bounds. He had no shot to catch it. 28-23 as Eaton recorded the safety. And then the Beet Diggers reestablished the momentum on Rosenbrock's second interception of the game. And then early in the fourth quarter, he scores from 2 yards out, his fourth touchdown of the contest. 9-play, 40-yard drive in 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Brush led 34-23. Beet Diggers then had a 4th down and 3 to go at the 8-yard line of the Reds. An incomplete pass by Mitch Tormolin gave the ball back to Eaton with 2 minutes and 31 seconds to go. It was down to about a minute 16 when on the 7th play of the drive, Austin Eckler scores from 55 yards out up the left sideline. The PAT was good. It was 34-30. 56.9 seconds remained when Eaton got the ball back as an onside kick was recovered, and it took just 2 plays, which included an interception that was wiped out. It would have been Ben Mickey's second interception of the game. Beet Diggers were called for a defensive penalty. Austin Eckler with a 15-yard catch, and the extra point was no good, 36-34. And then Mitch Tormolin would be intercepted. Didn't get the name on the man who intercepted for Eaton. 43-34. Eaton scores 21 points. They're down 34-23. Check that. 20 points, 3 touchdowns in a span of 41 seconds, and they shocked the Beet Diggers, Dave. Momentarily, we'll talk to head coach Randy Dreitz, and then you and I will have the player of the game. We'll run through the individual stats after this game because the numbers were obviously extremely large for Austin Eckler as the Reds improved to 3-0. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. The Beet Diggers fall to 2-1. As we're joined by head coach Randy Dreitz. And, I mean, Coach, I know that you could use several adjectives. I'm sure you're disgusted by this particular loss. Your initial thoughts on a game that obviously you have to think that your team simply gave away.
Yeah, we didn't play well enough to win this game. When you make as many mistakes as we did, it's tough to win football games. And we made too many mistakes, and I told the kids that we got to become smarter football players, and we got to become more disciplined. And right now, tonight, we didn't play real disciplined, and we made too many mental errors. And and I'll take blame for a lot of it too. We as a coaching staff got to do a better job coaching and get these guys better prepared to play. And hats off to Eaton. They're a great football team. They got some great athletes on their football team, and our kids fought hard. I don't think that's an issue. I think it was just a matter of too many errors. And then we get into that role where one thing went bad and then another thing went bad. That third quarter there was things were just falling apart. And, but they're definitely a tough football team. And, we got to learn from it and move on because next week we've got a tough game against Platte Valley in Platte Valley. And we got to get back on that winning record.
But yet you held an 11-point lead. 2.5 minutes to go. They've got the ball at their 8-yard line. You did a much better job on Austin Eckler, stopping him in the second half as opposed to the nearly 200 yards he had in the first half. Did you make any adjustments at halftime to cause that because, like I said, you certainly did a better job until he took off for that 55-yard run. And like you said, one big play created the other, and then another, and ultimately Eaton won the game by 9.
Yeah, it's too bad. In 2.5 minutes left, and their ball clear down there, I guess you play for the pass, and that's what we were doing. And they pitched it to him, and he's 8 seconds away from scoring. But when he's on the 9-yard line, he's that fast. So, we didn't come up and make the tackle and make the play that we should have. We had guys, taking bad angles. I think we'll watch the film and see. And he's a great football player, and their team's a good football team. And it's too bad that we had to end up losing this game. But the only thing we can get from it is it's early in the season, and hopefully we learn from it and get better from it and hate this feeling that we feel right now of losing a football game.
Well, in your 13 years as the head coach, got to be the most shocking loss, I would think, in all the games that I've watched. Now, when you look at the play of your offense, how would you characterize it? Because you had different looks between the first and second half, personnel-wise. Brett Boston played in the first half. We didn't see him in uniform in the second half, so obviously there has to be some personnel adjustments there. When you put the whole game together, how would you grade your team out offensively?
Not real good. We weren't moving the ball like we're capable of. We made some mistakes here and there. Big thing is that at contact we're not moving our feet and moving people. Everything's a stalemate, so the backs have to try to wiggle their way and find a hole, and they've been running hard and things. But you have a great play, and then you have a so-so play, and then you have something bad go wrong, and that we come out at the third quarter and we have an offsides penalty. Those offsides penalties and things like that just drive me nuts because it's mental errors and they kill drives. And our pass blocking was atrocious. Even when we pass on first down, it's atrocious. And so Mitch doesn't have time at all to throw the football, so we got to definitely work on that. And they had a great scheme tonight. They said we're going to line up and smack you in the mouth, and that's exactly what they did. And we need to respond better, I think, next time, and hopefully we will.
I mean, like you said, Eaton's a very good football team, but you got to think, because I'm sure the opinion that you had right now that your team didn't play very well, I'm sure, like I mentioned earlier, even with 2.5 minutes to go and you're up by 11, you were probably thinking, our team is still not playing very well, and we're getting away with so much. So did your opinion really change much from the 2.5-minute mark to the end of the game? Obviously, the only difference being the result, but did that change at all? Or did you feel with 2.5 minutes to go, hey, we're not playing well, we're just getting away with all these mistakes?
Well, I was holding my breath, it seemed like, the whole game because, I know we can play better than what we did, and the mental errors that we had and just execution errors. I think the biggest thing is the mental errors and just doing not very smart things, and it's clear down to lining up offsides when they're going to kick an onside. We don't line up offsides. We had a great bounce. We catch the ball, game over, but we line up offsides. Snapping the ball, there's so many things that we've got to take care of. If you want to be that top team, that you can't snap the ball over the punter's head. You can't have bad snaps on extra point. You can't miss that block that would spring a touchdown. You can't have fumbles, just little things. And it just seemed to compound in that third quarter. And thankfully, Kyle got to pick the ball off and got us the ball back, and that was a huge turnover for us. But we just, bottom line is execute better and play better defense. Our defense right now, in my opinion, is really poor. We're letting too many yards come at us, and we've got to change things on defense. And if we're going to run this defense, we got to be a lot more disciplined than what we're playing right now.
Finally, Coach, are you fearing after the first 3 games that you need these turnovers to get the job done? You had 4 last week against Fort Morgan, 4 tonight. You had a couple of key turnovers in the third quarter. I mean, just imagine how much worse it could be if you didn't have all these turnovers that your team has come up with to create even more offensive opportunities.
Exactly. Some of the turnovers were that our defense forced, and that's good. And some of them they threw the ball badly, and we intercepted. So, without them turning the ball over, it's not it's not this close, and we may not have been even in the game. So, we're just going to clean things up and really work hard. I can't say the kids aren't working hard or the coaches aren't working hard. It's just that we need to do a better job of getting across to the guys, some mistakes we're making, and we need to do a better job of coaching. And it's all the way around. It's a team thing, and not one player is to blame. It's there's multiple things that happened tonight that we can do a better job of, and starts with the coaching staff.
Well, the beauty of it, the Beat Diggers have had early season adversity in past years and have gone far, very deep in the playoffs, and hopefully this year will be another example. Randy, always appreciate your time, and we'll get him next week here against the Platte Valley Broncos. Brushhead football coach Randy Dreitz after the Beat Diggers lost tonight to the Eaton Reds at home 43-34. The Beat Diggers allowing 3 touchdowns in a span of 41 seconds as the Reds improved to 3-0, winning this Patriot League opener, and the Beat Diggers dropping to 2-1 on the season. Dave, before we name the player of the game, let's run through the individual stats. Let's start with the Eaton Reds and their main man, Austin Eckler.
You bet. 474 yards total offense. They had 344 yards on the ground. Eckler had 291 of it on 35 carries. So almost 300 yards offense all by himself. They threw the ball a grand total of 14 times. They completed 9 of those for a total of 130 yards. Granted, they did have some interceptions and some turnovers. They just had that big play. Eckler, they didn't have to throw the ball. They just handed it to him, and eventually he would break it open because I believe just a lot of poor tackling.
All right, let's go to the Beat Digger offense, where it was a tough night for Mitch Tormolen, dropping the ball a couple of times, but we also know, as Coach Dreitz mentioned, the protection was not very good, and that's putting it very, very mildly.
Yeah, he was 3 for 13 tonight with that interception there at the end of the game. Ran the ball 10 times for 49 yards. Our number one offensive guy again this week, though, was Kyle Rosenbrock. Had 115 yards on 17 carries. Jake Morrow had 2 carries for 29 yards. Brett Bosterman in the first half had 6 carries for 43 yards, and then Eddie Arribas had 3 carries for 3 yards.
Beat Digger Player of the Game brought to you by T.O. Charlie's at 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. They will not be beat by anyone when it comes to price. They'll help you find a car that fits your needs and budget. If you don't see what you want, T.O. Charlie's will find it for you. Log on to TOCharliesFTM.com to view inventory, current specials, and apply for a loan online. Drive away with confidence at T.O. Charlie's. And Dave, for the third consecutive week, I think for obvious reasons, the Beat Digger Player of the Game has got to be Kyle Rosenbrock.
Oh, I agree. And, I'd love to, it's nice to be cushy and say, let's spread that award around a little bit. But you know what? He's been the obvious choice. He made a lot of big offensive plays today. He had all those picks. He had another pick that was stolen from him, plus was the leading offensive output on the team. And you got to go back with Kyle Rosenbrock again because he was the obvious guy. Plus, he did the punting. He had great punting. He did it all in all phases.
4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the night for Kyle Rosenbrock. Beat Diggers back in action coming up a week from tonight in Kersey against the Platte Valley Broncos. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, and we'll be on the air starting with a Beat Digger blast-off at 6 o'clock and game replay to follow. And, of course, we'll have the replay of this game coming up as well. You can check out our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. Videos of not only the past 2 games, we'll have video of tonight's games and video of many of the games of years past as well, and a play-by-play recap of this game on KSIRsports.com. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger Football has been Rose Condis. For Dave Urick, I'm John Beltran. In shocking fashion, the final score once again tonight from Beat Digger Stadium: Eaton 43, Brush 34, right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.